That was horrible.
Derek.
What's up, dog?
Derek, I feel like shit. I feel so bad, dude.
You're such a piece of shit, man.
I feel so, like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. You're a doctor, right?
3 times over.
Yeah, so you're 3 times over doctor.
That's what
like,
they say.
I feel like hot all the time.
That's
and
just
like,
because you keep getting in those tanning beds and they're making you really hot.
And that might be the case. But I swear, like, I'm itchy and my nails are getting like really like sharp. Like,
you
like
need
it
to get
hurts.
A pedicure.
Okay, it's okay. So yeah,
I'm a
after I
really
went to the
bad
tanning
doctor.
bed, I went to get a pedicure, and I told them to give me like sharp claws and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's beside the point.
They look dope.
Do I look like particularly like hairier to you? As I feel kind of hairy.
You do.
Yeah.
Are you having a lycrothampic
No,
you're having a.
You're the 3 times doctor. You
having
tell
a
me.
lycrothampic. God. Should we start over?
I got a case of the lycanthropics. No, what I actually probably have is called hypertrichosis, which is also known as the werewolf syndrome.
I am very actually sick, and I'm on so much Dayquil right now. So trying to say lycanthropy was I did it.
You
was
did
the
it.
hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Whoa. Okay, so you are talking about...
Hypertrichosis is actually a real thing.
That's sick.
Condition characterized by excessive hair growth independent to androgen levels.
Whoa.
That's like when they used to have like freak shows and stuff, and they had like the man covered in hair, like literally all over his face.
Okay,
That's the kind of vibe.
You know how when you were a kid, if you jerked off, your hand would turn into fur?
You've brought that up like twice now on the podcast, and I've still never heard about it.
Well, you've heard it from me. So obviously you've heard about it.
That's fair.
So what do you have to do? What sexual transgression do you have to do to get your entire body covered in fur?
You have to find a very large thing. You have to. No, I don't know.
Where
if
are you
I
going
want
with
to
that?
with it.
No, finish that.
I don't. No, I don't. Derek, I don't. Oh no!
Oh, no,
God,
you
it's
turned into a
happening!
wolf.
Here it goes!
Nice. Good segue.
That was mostly my way to get out of that. But now I'm a wolf. Hypertrichosis be damned. I'm howling like a wolf.
I watched a movie today that was very similar to that and claimed to have strong sexual content in it. And what you just did was more sexual than the entire movie.
Is that right?
It is. Anyway, I am part of a podcast that actually talks about this kind of stuff. Did
Is
you
that
just
right?
look up the lyrics to Hungry Like a Wolf?
Yeah, because I'm really feeling in touch with the ground. I'm on the hunt. I'm after you. I smell like I sound. I'm lost in a crowd.
I'm normally on board
and
with
I'm
these bits.
hungry like the wolf.
I'm normally on board with your bits, man. I hate it.
What's happening, everybody? I'm Wolfman Jack here with our wonderful podcast here. And who's here in the studio with me? No, I'm Isaac. What's up, everybody?
Oh, I liked that. I liked Wolfman Jack.
Wolfman Jack's a good entity,
Jack
but it
was
also
great.
exists and is not me.
Is Wolfman Jack a real person?
Wolfman's a real thing.
Well, no, the Wolfman is, but his name
No,
Jack?
Wolfman Jack. It was like a radio personality.
Is that real?
Yeah.
I'm dumb. That's so sick.
That's real. That's
I'm
why
gonna Google it.
To reference our last episode that we had where we talked about Little Shop of Horrors a lot, there's a line in it where they call Seymour sexier than the Wolfman. And they don't mean the Wolfman, they mean sexier than Wolfman Jack.
Wait, really?
Yeah, because the first time I heard that, I was like, what's sexy about the Wolfman?
Everything.
Maybe I'm missing something
Obviously.
here.
You see that cane?
But I'm that
Whitney,
silver cane.
Daddy.
I am Isaac, and you are...
Oh, I'm Derek.
And you are Derek, and this is our podcast we call That Was
Horrible.
You can't even, you mess up the intro before we even finish the name at this point.
I can't remember what we do. What do we do?
This is our podcast where we do our best at reviewing the worst in horror movies. But Derek...
Well, you did that so well.
Wolves usually
They're
travel in
among us.
packs. It's a pack mentality, right?
They're among us.
And I don't think they're among us. Wolves are among us?
Wolves are among us.
Tell me more about that. Do you think
there's
werewolves have infiltrated the government?
Well, yeah. But I've also
Obviously.
I was also doing a segue into the fact that we have a guest with us.
Yeah.
I was also guesting.
Pack mentality, and I don't think 2 wolves make a pack. So I think we need a 3rd wolf here to help us discuss.
I think we could get a pack of 2.
A pack of 2? You sure?
Yeah. Why not?
I feel like if I got a variety pack and there were 2 in it, I would be kind of bummed.
Well,
but if there were 3, I'd be like, this is a pack.
No. Listen, if you got a variety pack, I'm sorry, guest. You'll get on in a second. Don't worry. I like if you got a variety pack of like, if I got like fruit punch and like blue raspberry, I'd be like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
But if I got like fruit punch and like lemon lime, I would be probably pretty upset.
So you're more just specific about which is this?
It depends
is this
on what
enough
is
for
in
you?
the pack.
What's our pack currently?
Well, today it's like fruit punch and lemon lime. Right, because I'm a little under the weather, and that makes me lemon lime.
Yeah, you're struck with the lycanthropy.
So you got to get somebody in here's like a blue raspberry.
Yeah,
you know.
And we have a blue raspberry here in the studio in the form of our lovely guest, Aleks. Hey, Aleks,
Hey,
what's
Aleks.
happening?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
It's great, man.
I like that you guys are a two wolf pack because I'm a bit of a lone wolf myself.
Hey.
So
Coming in here slinging those hot jokes.
It's another time I feel like I need like a sound panel go like beep 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 beep. When he
We've
makes
talked about
good
that
joke.
probably 1,000
A
times. and
million
it's
times
never
we're talking
actually
about
happened.
that. One day it'll happen.
One day it'll happen.
Let's fill it with just like horror sounds though. Yeah, screams.
That's perfect.
Werewolf howls. Witch
Chat, clip
cackles.
that.
Clip that chat. No, welcome aboard, Aleks.
Aleks,
please.
welcome.
Thanks
Who-
for having me.
Who the heck are you?
Who are you?
Yeah, my name is Aleks.
The man behind the wolf.
I have a YouTube channel that I swear I'll start uploading to again.
You will one day.
I do all kinds of silly stuff on there, but lately it's turned into mostly just kind of making fun of silly Goosebumps episodes or other kind of horror media
which is
for
fun.
kids.
It's really
Love
fun.
that.
It's fun. I love it. I'm big into a lot of horror stuff. I was very excited that we're doing a werewolf thing here because I am a big fan of werewolves, the Wolfman in general. That's
Before we get too far away from it, what's the name of this YouTube channel?
oh yeah, AleksSuks, and it's spelled really fucked up. So just look in the description. If I'm sure,
Yeah, we'll put it in.
Yeah, we'll
Derek,
put it in there for sure.
Can I call you Derek?
Please.
Derek, he'll put it in the description. So
What else would you call
No,
it?
perfect.
I don't. It's just a funny joke to
No, it's good.
It's
I
just
enjoyed it.
comedy 101. Is,
Yeah. Thank you.
And the most important thing about comedy is questioning comedy and then explaining it.
yeah,
If you don't explain the joke, no one will get it.
exactly.
Aleks, we actually go back quite a
do.
ways.
Yeah.
Like, you knew me when I was still a little Mormon boy.
I did.
And that was, what, 10
Just a
years?
wee
11 years
little
ago.
lad. 11 years ago.
Yeah, I think you did the math. It was like 2014.
Yeah, it was
so
2014.
11 years.
Yeah, I got fired
Crazy.
from my job at Guitar Center
That's so funny.
because I don't even know. I made a million
He
excuses.
kept doing
that are all
silly
kind of blurred.
voices over customer service.
because I wasn't fun then. I was like true to the form of the faith.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, my Lord, I'll get married in the temple, and then I like,
Yes, my lord.
now look at me, God, I'm going straight to hell. But anyway, Aleks, yeah, we worked at Guitar Center
did.
together, musician's friend,
Yep.
and it wasn't until later in life that I realized you just had the best, most fucked up memes on Facebook, and I spent probably the last 11 years stealing your memes. So
hey, I steal them from everyone else too. So that's just how
I
I
just
do
need
it.
you to understand.
Everyone's stealing memes, you know.
Yeah.
Actually, I would be in like conversations that would like start lulling with my friends, and I'd be like, "This needs a good meme." Aleks, oh, there it is, and then I would
Seek him
like
out.
screenshot like your latest fucked up meme, and I would send it off to my friends. Not even a joke. That is real.
So he's a lone wolf horror fan, meme connoisseur.
meme kind of listen. He just gets it, man.
Yeah.
like your
The girls who get it.
your meme taste was right in line with the fucked up shit I would love to send. And in
Which
fact,
is so funny because Derek does not have a lot of people that he can like. There are some people like, you can't show your wife the most fucked up memes.
Oh, of course
And
not.
so I become the channel, the
Absolutely.
conduit for that. He's like, you need to see this because I
He's
have to
received
share
a lot
this
of your
with
memes.
someone.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting that you brought up that we go real far back, Derek.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Isaac. Well, Isaac, can I call you Isaac?
Absolutely. Isaac
Isaac and
Jack,
I,
whatever you want.
We go back too, where apparently I used to order coffee from him at Starbucks.
Yeah,
a lot.
exactly. That's crazy.
And we connected over our matching
We
Frankenstein
both have
tattoos.
Frankenstein tattoos. He's got a wonderful Frankenstein tattoo and the Wolfman,
show me
Dracula.
yours.
It's under my
Oh, he's
shirt
taking
here.
off
I
his
gotta
clothes.
get. I gotta
Wow,
get a
he's
little
stripping in the
sexy here.
studio, guys.
gosh.
Sexual
Got-
content in this episode.
I'm
It's okay. Just
smacking
hit the
stuff
technology.
around, but
Oh,
They're really
sick.
cool.
I got the monsters.
Wait, those
For the
are really
viewers at
cool.
home, he's got a great sleeve going here. Wolfman up at the top. Under that, we got Bela Lugosi as Dracula, and then Boris Karloff, Frankenstein. Love it. Love it
And
to
muscles
death.
that won't quit.
And muscles that
Yeah.
won't quit.
Oh, they quit pretty long ago. I feel like.
Do you guys feel like werewolves are like shredded under the fur? Because I feel like they gotta be.
Well, it depends on who they were before.
I guess
Yeah.
it depends on the werewolf movie.
Yeah, and also
Like, I don't know if I'd say Lon Chaney Jr.'s werewolf is like particularly jacked under all
No,
that hair.
he's just a big dude in general.
Yeah,
though, you
he's
know
just
what I
a-
mean.
he's a
But
dense
he
man,
doesn't.
I
He doesn't
think.
need to be jacked because he's just big.
He doesn't
he,
need
He was
it.
Lenny of Mice and Men before he was the Wolf Man, and like Lenny's a big,
That's
Big
true.
guy,
big
yeah.
guy.
Are
He's
they
a big guy.
connected?
Lenny and the Wolf Man.
Yeah.
Lenny and the Wolfman is
That's
a
what happens
kick-ass
after his
name.
story.
So it was a silver bullet George had in the gun. So a lot of people don't know that.
I just watched a movie called Dark Knight of the Scarecrow. Have you heard of this movie?
Is that Batman?
No, I actually thought the same thing. No, it was a PG made-for-TV movie that was kind of a twist on Of Mice and Men. And
Is that what it is?
Kind of, in a way, yeah.
Interesting.
So it's about like a guy who's very similar to Lenny in Of Mice and Men. Who, if you don't know, he's like how do you word it?
I think the term
severely
back then
disabled.
was like, I think they use in the book, they call him like a simpleton, which is not a very politically correct term.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. But someone. I mean, he's very, very on the like heavily on the spectrum. And anyway, he accidentally. Well, the town thinks he kills a girl.
Yes.
And then this is the movie Dark Knight of the Scarecrow, not Of Mice and Men.
Not about. We're crossing lines.
Of Mice and Men, spoiler, if you haven't read the 90-year-old book.
Yeah.
He did kill a girl.
He did kill a girl. Yeah, and but the town thinks he does.
And then they turned him into a
movie.
scarecrow.
Actually, yes. They,
Oh, shit.
They essentially crucify him. They hang him up on a cross and dress him up as a scarecrow and then kill him.
Wild.
And then find out he didn't actually kill the girl.
That's deep.
That's how the
That's
movie
dark.
begins. Then
What a way to start your PG-13.
Oh, it was PG. And it was like in the
PG.
80s. Yeah, it was on like PBS.
You could get away with a lot more with PG
But
back in the day.
Then his spirit comes back from the grave, dressed up as like this cool scare. You should look up the cover for it. The cover art for it's actually like really.
What's it
sick.
called again?
Dark Knight of the Scarecrow.
I'm still looking at "Hungry Like the Wolf"
my
lyrics. Like "Hungry like the wolf, hungry like the wolf, hungry like the wolf."
Those are my favorite lyrics from that movie.
There's an episode of Goosebumps I made a video about on my YouTube channel called "The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight."
Oh,
Which, if you like shitty scarecrows, like Derek was just saying,
I mean, this is a great scarecrow. I'm not gonna lie to you.
'cause
Look at this guy.
Scarecrow Walks at Midnight is not good. It's not a
got
good
almost like a
Scarecrow.
ghost face thing going on in its mask.
Oh,
there, that is a pretty good
or
poster.
kind of like
The whole movie is on YouTube. I actually recommend everyone go watch it because it
Okay.
was
we used to make real posters. For
the first like 20.
guys.
Yeah, there's a picture of him on this like crucifixion. He's like on a. He's literally
slumped
on a
over,
cross.
fucking dead. That's so
Dude.
sad.
Yeah, it was brutal.
This
but
picture of him with his eyes through the mask is so scary looking.
whoa.
Eerie.
yeah, it's actually pretty effective, and the way that they portrayed him was really like tasteful. And it was like you cared about him a lot, and
Yeah.
then this happens
Well, he
to him,
didn't
and
kill
you're like,
a kid, apparently.
oh my god.
But that's what makes the best monsters, right? It's like the
Absolutely.
people that have like a
Sympathetic.
tragic thing happen to them.
That's why I felt like this was relevant. Also, I watched that like 3 days ago, and I thought it was really good, so thought I'd bring it up.
But yeah, so Alex is the reason that we are talking so much about werewolves and such, because as I'm coming to understand, one of your favorite, if not favorite, like classic like monster movies is The Wolfman, right?
Yes, it's my favorite movie of all time.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Any movie ever.
Love it.
Recite
Yeah.
it from the beginning.
Well, you guys kind of started the beginning of this podcast like that movie starts with
Yeah.
the lycanthropy thing. The beginning of that movie is a book, where
Yeah,
an
that's what I
encyclopedia,
was
because they didn't have the internet back then.
No, of course
They had
not.
to use encyclopedias. but
Losers.
They
Back
look
in
up
the day.
lycanthropy.
You had to go to the library.
So that was pretty similar. And then I drove up to the podcast set in a car, kind of the way Larry drives up to his ancestral home in Wales in a car.
That's
and
true.
the next
It's all
scene-
coming together.
So I mean, this is all.
He's got this
kinda-
like pentagram on his hand, like that, just like the movie.
Yeah.
yeah.
I saw Derek had some little half moon hoop earrings up in his room.
Yeah,
I was
you
looking
did.
at it with a telescope and saw them.
You were looking into my room with a telescope.
Yeah,
Well, I was
My room
fixing
was
my
far enough
dad's
away.
telescope. I was fixing his telescope, and I saw
I
that you had
see.
earrings. And I was like, "Can I buy those?" And you were like, "How do you know I have those?" And I was like, "I'll just get this cane instead."
And then I gave it to you.
Yeah. And I was like, "What is this? A horse?" And you're like, "That's a wolf. Are you stupid?"
Are you fucking
And I was
idiot?
like, "Well, I
believe
did
it's
play
my words.
Lenny." So
And then we started our community theater production of Mice and Men immediately after.
of wolves and mice.
Of Wolves and Mice and Men.
Of wolves and,
And
mice
mice
and
and
men.
men.
That's great. Actually.
Yeah, it sucks. It's actually just like a. No, I'm not gonna. We should move on.
This is wonderful having like two dudes who are pretty like well versed in improv kind of stuff. You guys can just kind of go at it, and I just sit here and watch.
You're also versed in improv.
I just
don't
like
know
to
how many
watch.
times.
just like
on
with werewolf transformations, I
technology,
just like to watch. You know,
You're a cuck.
I'm a werewolf cuck.
You're a wuck.
I'm a wuck.
Well, I don't know. It was pretty bull of you the way you like started the podcast with an improv scene, like straight up being like, "Hey, I've got claws."
I'm
feeling
lying.
good." Like,
It's all been a lie.
Yeah.
It's all been bullshitting for fakes.
wow.
But Alex, you were the one that recommended this movie to us.
Yes.
With Howl 2015 will be our movie that we will be discussing for the podcast today.
We are.
More like 2015.
Was that a wolf or?
It was more. I don't know. It was kind of a dog more than it was a wolf. No, I feel like it's just fine.
Alex, you also have the great pleasure of being the first person in our new studio. We got a new studio.
Yeah.
You do. It's very fun.
That's the whole story.
For any and all of you who regularly listen to our episodes, sorry we've been gone for a minute. Things have been a little bit busy, but part of that includes Derek moving into a whole new space.
It's a whole new world.
It's a
just
whole
like Jasmine and
new
Aladdin
world.
sang
It's
about.
a hole. He found it underground.
it's
and he said,
spacious.
this is where we're moving to.
It's kind of, I like what he's done with the place. It's very nice.
Master Splinter has taught me well in this hole.
Master Splinter, known like professional of like making the most of a shitty living area.
He lives in the sewers, and the sewers are connected.
And
to
listen, anytime I see the Ninja Turtles, their pad underground looks kind of kick-ass. Like, I want to live there.
You can get it on Airbnb. There's an Airbnb of the Ninja
there
Turtle
really?
subway
Is that
station.
true?
Yeah,
That's sick
for
as hell.
fucking real. It is. Yeah.
I would absolutely live there.
I would also. Isn't Master Splinter kind of a werewolf?
We never see
Were
him
rat.
out
He's a
of it.
were-rat, I
Were
guess,
rat.
yeah.
Yeah, were-rat.
Yeah. I do love like the
Rat wolf?
different types of tropes like that those things can have, right? Like a were bear or were fox and a were rat. A were rat could be a thing. What are like the day-to-day symptoms of being a were rat though?
Oh, so much cheese. Dude.
Cheese probably.
If you don't get,
I just
enough
really
cheese,
want to
you will
like
die.
sit on your head and pull your hair while you're cooking as a
Okay,
chef.
now hold on. Not all rats are French chefs, dog. Please, I'm
It
sick
wasn't
of
to
this
help you
stigma.
cook better. It was he gets off pulling hair, watching you cook.
He's a
like a
cook
sex
cuck.
thing. Yeah,
yeah,
it's a
he's a cook cuck.
Werewolves are inherently sexy.
We have brought
you
up
know?
5 minutes of cuck content
Yes.
today.
Yeah.
No,
Should
we brought
do
up
should we
cuck
do a
in the last 5 minutes.
Super cut of all the cuck
A super
content?
cuck. Yeah. All right.
I'm what you would call a super cuck.
So we're going to talk about Howl a little bit today.
Let's do it.
This movie came out in 2015. It was directed by Paul Hyatt. Does anybody know Paul Hyatt? Any of you guys familiar
Not me.
with Paul Hyatt?
I think I stayed at one of his hotels one time.
Hyatt Inn.
Yeah.
He's really just done makeup is like his main expertise. He's done 67 credits worth of makeup effects.
That explains
yeah, that
basically
a lot of
everything.
what we actually liked in the movie.
Yeah, he was also involved in the special effects department on a bunch of different movies. But he's only actually ever directed 4 movies. He's directed
So this is one.
The Seasoning House, which I'm assuming is a horror-based chef thriller.
Which you would be into.
A chef-based horror thriller is, I think, what I meant to
Horror-based
say.
chef thriller.
Yeah. it was-
A horror-based chef thriller. Howl, which we just watched.
Yep.
The Convent and Peripheral are his credits. I've never heard of any of those.
No, they all seem fine, I think.
I don't know. They
yeah,
kind
based on the title,
Yeah.
alone, they're probably pretty good.
He's got very simple naming conventions, which is actually kind of funny. I was thinking about that when I was thinking about like the Wolfman earlier today. And I was like, back in the day, you could just name something so simply. It's just like a single title. And the further along we get, we have to come up with more unique ways.
Because everyone's taking all the easy
Yeah,
shit.
exactly. Like
True.
now we've
Yeah,
got
it's
like
true.
Robert Eggers, who's making Wolf, I think. It's
Yeah.
just that's the whole name of his upcoming werewolf movie.
I mean, that's just Vitch. He
Yeah.
already did it once.
I mean, I think it is. It is a W. It's not the V thing.
Yeah.
I just think that's how it's pronounced properly. I don't know.
Wolf. So it's just a
Which
guy.
is gonna kick ass. I'm looking
It
forward
should be
to
really
that.
fucking
I'm
good.
excited for that.
He does good work.
I love.
I
love
really
him.
appreciate the lengths he goes to like make sure things are as like time period accurate as possible.
Yeah.
So for him to be doing like another like period setting like werewolf movie, I'm excited to see like the lengths he'll go in just to be doing that.
Absolutely. So this movie was written by a writing team of Mark Huckerby and Nick.
Mikes and Men.
We're back. Mikes and Men and Wolves and Bears.
Oh my.
Oh my. Mark Huckerby and Nick Osler are who wrote this movie. And they this kills me, man. So they've written Don't Knock Twice.
Yeah.
And Howl and Go Jetters, which is an animated TV series, and Peter Rabbit.
Oh.
So
Very nice.
They also did some writing on the Mr. Bean animated series.
Very nice.
Super Happy Magic Forest.
Of course. Love it.
You know, Thomas and Friends story time. Octonauts Above and Beyond. JoJo and Gran, you know.
Classics.
Anybody a big
So
fan
the thing
of
is,
these?
I've never heard of any of these. And
Oh,
Alex,
have you not?
how did you hear about Howl 2015? Because Derek had mentioned it to me. He's like, hey, he thinks this movie will be really good. And I was like, I have literally never, ever heard of this movie. How did you come across this?
So,
Are you just like always on the prowl for new werewolf movies?
On the prowl.
sometimes I am,
Like a wolf.
yeah, but this
On the
was
howl prowl,
not
On the hunt.
This was not. I was not prowling or hunting around
Okay.
for this. This was
All natural.
my uncle when he retired a few years ago, he moved out of the country, and he had a huge DVD collection.
Oh hell yeah! It's
And
always
he
a cool ass uncle.
Gave them to me.
See, I got one of those, but it was full of like shit movies.
There were a lot of shit movies,
I've had
but there were a lot of cool movies,
terrible ones.
And he's really into horror movies
Very
and
nice.
like really just like random bargain bin DVDs and stuff
Crazy.
too. And yeah, I think I found this around the time of that, so I want to say it was a DVD from his
That's cool though.
hundreds of DVDs he gave me. I don't know for sure, but that sounds right. But my wife and I watched it. It was like during COVID quarantine for the first times when I saw it.
Good time to be watching movies.
And we had just watched Train to Busan right before that, and we saw like the cover for this, and we were like, "Oh, hey, that's like a train. That might be a fun one."
We saw zombies on a train. Now let's get werewolves on a train.
Spoiler alert: that's basically what Howl is.
You get Samuel L. Jackson on this. He's sick
Snakes
of
on
these
a
motherfucking werewolves on my motherfucking train.
So this may be a surprise to both of you, but this movie actually was nominated for a bunch of things and actually won something.
Really? Yeah, because this isn't like we usually live in like the lower ranges of the Rotten Tomatoes for this one, right? This one sits a little bit high, but the
I'll
audience
go over
rating's
that
a
in a
little bit
second.
low.
The Mullins Film Festival, I've never heard of it.
Nope.
Probably something in the Great Britain.
Yeah, it's a British film.
It was nominated for Best Director, Best Film, and it was also nominated at Fright Fest for the Rising Star Award.
For who?
For Paul Hyatt, who was the director. It did, in fact, win Best Director at the Mullins Film Festival.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting. I don't know if I agree.
Not that I disagree heavily, but I'm curious, like what else was up?
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say
it
like
depends on what
compared
it was
to what
against.
else.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe like
Maybe like Rising Star Director for sure.
Yeah, because there's definitely stuff I loved in this movie, and there's a lot of stuff that I was like, oh my god. And I don't know if the directing was one of the things I loved.
Yeah. There was not a single moment in the movie that I was like, oh yeah, the director
I love
really
the
hit
direction
it.
with this
He
one.
hit it
Yeah,
off
yeah,
the park
yeah.
there. So Howl came out in 2015 to a critics score of 63% on Rotten Tomatoes, an audience score of 41%. It's currently sitting on IMDb at a 2.6. I mean, Letterboxd at a 2.6, and IMDb at a 5.5. So you're kind of in the middle ground here. Howl was made for a $1.9 million budget, which is, I thought that was a lot for this movie. You guys were both astounded that it was that low.
Yeah, no, that seems fairly low, especially with the effects that are within said movie.
Yeah, I mean both the practical makeup effects and the CGI
And the CG,
that they sprinkle in. Like, yeah, I was very shocked. 1.9 mil.
Maybe it was just because it was a one location film, and those
Yes.
tend to be so cheap. That
Yeah,
I was
'cause
I was pretty surprised.
For the most part, and we'll get into this when we talk about the movie, but it's pretty much, it takes place entirely like on a train between a couple cars of the train and like the forest.
And then it actually only made about 500,000 in the box office. So it really bombed.
Jeez, it took a big cut. So this was released in theaters.
Yeah, apparently.
That's
yeah.
crazy. What was I doing in 2015 where I hadn't
you were
heard about a
5 years
werewolf
old.
movie in theaters?
You were 5 years old. at
You're
the time.
right. I was 5 years old in 2015.
You're busy
The goal.
jacking off, getting hairy hands.
You were
Didn't
becoming
have time.
the werewolf.
Yeah, you didn't have time to go watch a werewolf movie.
So
Do you feel
actually,
like maybe it's like if you jack off, you get the hairy palms, you're trying to rub it off, and then like it's on, like you rub it on your chest, oh no, it's there, and then it's on your face.
I think
anything you touch is like the Midas touch, but with the hair.
I
I
assumed
mean,
it was
that's
the
a
cum.
practical. Yeah, I think it was just a way for people to be like, "Hey, stop touching your penis. This is what'll happen to you."
But he was saying like how would you turn yourself full werewolf, get hair everywhere with
Yeah.
like that
Yeah.
same trope? Like how deep do you have to sin? How
I think
can you
just
sin
keep-
your whole body?
I think you keep getting hairy hands and you shave it off, and then you rub the cum somewhere and put the
Yeah,
hair there.
yeah,
More
yeah,
hair
yeah,
comes
yeah.
on your hand, and you just repeat the process.
Yeah. And then you got like a weird patch. So you're like, God, I gotta jack off again. So I get
Oh
a bitter
god damn! I gotta jack off again.
I'd like to see a werewolf movie where the werewolf is mostly humanoid, like kind of like the werewolves in this one, but more so. And it's just a guy that continuously shaves himself and keeps having to like keep up the charade.
That would actually be really
That-
funny.
it's
He's like trying to
Santa
like
Claus
exist in
with-
society.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
like a werewolf. Yeah, no, I like that.
And then the wife is like, "Why is there so much hair in the drain?"
I mean, that's
Honey.
kind of actually like Teen Wolf with Michael J.
Oh,
Fox.
I guess
that
that's
kind of
fair.
happens.
Yeah, you're right.
And he's like,
There's
"What's
no
happening?" He
original
opens the door, and
ideas.
his uncle's like, "This is our family secret, dude."
Yeah, this will be our little secret. My hairy nephew. Don't worry about this.
Wasn't there a weird like thing about a penis in that movie?
Oh yeah, in one of the basketball scenes, there is
Yeah,
a
there's
guy
a
in
kid,
the
like,
crowd with
jacking
his
off,
dick
right?
out, like
Yeah.
with
What?
extras. Yes.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's like a
Nuts.
horror tradition. Dude. The Mummy, the 1998, 99, whatever,
Yeah,
Brendan
yeah.
Fraser. the guy who gets eaten alive by the scarab beetles.
Yeah.
When he's like
Nasty
freaking out,
scene.
his penis falls out of his pants
What
at
the
one
hell?
point.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, if you go frame by frame, you'll see it.
Yeah, you just gotta look.
Which you have. It seems
yeah,
like,
I mean,
I've just
yeah.
got, come on, just a little more.
We're almost there. We're almost there.
But
There
I mean,
it is.
this podcast isn't about penises in horror movies. This podcast is about the movie we watched.
But it does sound like it's a little bit about penises and werewolf movies because like Wolfman got nards. Like it's a trope thing with like wolves and wieners. And we've talked about, I think we've mentioned before, Wolf Cop. And now there's that sequence where mid-transformation, you basically see his whole zone swell up till it looks like a potato, and then it explodes into wolf cock.
I think it's pretty natural when you're a man to think, or if you have a penis, to think about like what would happen in a transformation
I sincerely
moment.
do wonder like what goes on.
What is going to happen?
And beyond that, like, I mean, there's times where I'm really giving it to myself, and I'm contorting and growling and shaking as if I'm becoming a werewolf. You know, it's like,
You know, you're right.
I feel like I've seen something like that in some like comedy something. No, not necessarily about pleasuring oneself, but I think it was like someone suspects someone of being a werewolf and they hear them like moaning and groaning and growling, and then they just like walk out of the bathroom. They're like, "Oh man, what a number I did in there."
And they were just taking a poop. That sounds like something from Scary Movie.
I think it was in Bob's Burgers. Actually.
Probably.
Which I love because there's an episode of that where Bob is like super high on drugs and he thinks his friend has turned into a werewolf and he's like running away from him and his friend's calling out to him and he calls back, "Don't pretend you care about me, werewolf." And I say that all the time.
Yeah, I have heard you say that. So actually, I did do some research into it during this jack-off conversation.
Yeah. How does one cover oneself in hair for sinning so
That's
much?
not what I looked at.
Ah, damn.
The film actually had no theatrical release, talking about Howl again.
Okay.
But it was shown at several international film festivals before it released on home video.
Everybody gets to see all the cool shit at film festivals.
Yeah. It was premiering. It premiered at Fantasy Film Fest in Germany in 2015. Actually, this movie came out almost exactly 10 years ago. To this day.
Wow, happy anniversary, Howling.
Yeah.
What date did it release exactly?
It released on home video the 16th of October, 2015.
Okay, yeah, so we're only like 8 days
away.
8 days early.
Yeah. It's funny. There have actually been a lot of reviewers saying it's too much like Snakes on a Plane.
You can't just say that because it's a creature on a means of transportation.
exactly. I didn't get Snakes on a Plane vibe from this
No,
at all. It
not
very
at all.
much just felt like somebody was like, Train to Busan is sick. What if
Yes.
we change the monster and the setting and like lower budget?
If
and,
I made a
This
movie
movie-
where there were like scorpions on a submarine, I would not say like, "Oh, this is too much like Snakes on a Plane. It's scorpions on a submarine."
So, Alex, I hate to burst your bubble.
Yeah.
Oh, is
Train to
this
Busan came out
before?
after.
No fucking way.
So Train to Busan.
So you're telling me
ripped
this
off
one
Howl.
came off
Yep.
first?
So maybe the Snakes on a Plane was a good analogy for the time because
Yeah.
that was the only other.
the only other thing.
Yeah.
We've never seen any other creatures on a means of
and there
locomotion.
there was a Snakes on a Train.
There was.
also that came out low budget. Like
Yeah. Oh my God,
One of those,
Isaac,
like,
we
try to
have to
trick-
watch.
Oh,
this.
that poster looks
it's one of those
terrible.
trying to trick you at Blockbuster kind of movies,
Yes.
like Transmorphers and
Yeah.
all that shit.
I'll
I think
never
it's the same
forget one
company
time
that
I
makes
had
it, actually.
my grandpa came to visit one time and he like tosses me a DVD. He's like, "Hey, I got you The Simpsons." He handed me a DVD of Beavis and Butthead.
Oh.
It was not The Simpsons even a
but
little
Beavis
bit.
and Butthead kind of slapped those.
Yeah, and I was gonna bring up Beavis and Butthead a minute ago.
Oh,
but we
okay.
moved on. But it was your Bob's Burger
Yeah.
werewolf thing. There's when they brought back Beavis and Butthead in like 2011, I think, and they did like a few episodes. There was one where they go see Twilight in the theater, and they're like, oh, "Okay, we'll get girls if we're monsters." So they're like,
That's what I
walking
walked
around,
away from too after
and
I saw Twilight.
They see like a homeless man having a rant on the side of the road, and he's like really hairy and disheveled, and they think he's a werewolf, and so
man.
they pay him to bite them.
Oh, so
That's
good.
And
good.
then-
Pay
Oh,
the
so
guy.
good.
And then they end up getting like really sick and think they're transforming, but then it's like you see him in the hospital later in like medically induced comas, and they have Hep A, B, and C, and AIDS, and like all these things from the bite.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That they paid for. Crazy.
All right, yeah. So that's pretty much all I have to say about Howl. For
Saw the info
moment.
about Howl 2015.
It's all the pretty much all the info. Yeah, it was kind of just flew under the radar, almost literally.
Yeah.
Like it released its festivals, and they're like, just put it on DVD.
Yeah, just put it on DVD. It's fine.
put it on
Which is
DVD.
I'm actually surprised about because like as we get closer to talking about the movie, I actually it's not the worst werewolf movie I've ever seen. It's no American Werewolf in Paris for sure.
That movie is fucking phenomenal, and if you talk bad about it one more time, I don't know. What I'm gonna do.
Then what? Then what? You
I
gonna
don't know.
wolf
I
out?
keep threatening something, and nothing ever happens.
Derek's something of a wolf himself. If you see him without a shirt on.
You've never seen me with my shirt off, actually. That's true fact.
That's not true, actually.
What?
He was using my dad's telescope.
Yeah, I
when we
was
talked about
fixing
it.
his dad's
that's
telescope
true.
with him. He needed an extra set of hands, and his
true.
are covered in fur, so he needed mine.
Oh my god, I am incredibly hairy. Yeah,
Yeah,
We're already planning on teaching my newborn child
that you're
I
a
am
werewolf. So you're just
By
gonna
ancestry,
disappear
yeah.
every full moon.
Yeah.
Like, really traumatize them.
Speaking of werewolf content, did you guys ever see? Oh crap!
Werewolf content. Describe content exactly, because you say content, and I'm like, my mind goes to the gutter. Unfortunately.
What do you mean? Oh, like porn?
Oh yeah, that's what I meant, Derek. Thank you for calling it directly what it is.
There was that show. There was what is it called? It had like Jonah Hill. No,
Jonah Hill and a werewolf project.
No, hold on.
You're thinking of
I can't-
Olaf.
Yeah, Olaf.
Josh Gad.
Josh Gad. Yeah,
Yeah,
did
you
see
mentioned
his
there was a werewolf
show?
TV show that you liked a lot.
Yes.
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, you have to. You must. You have to. And when I find it, when it's Wolf Like Me.
There it is.
Wolf Like Me. Have you?
It seemed like a fun spin on werewolf
Yeah,
stuff.
I've never heard of this.
It's got like 2 seasons. It is fantastic. It made me cry.
It's just
a
like
lot.
Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah.
No, it's actually nothing like that. But it's a husband and wife, and the wife is a werewolf. And it's
is that Isla Fisher?
yeah.
Oh,
Fisher.
okay. Yeah, that sounds very fun.
You should definitely check it out. It's only like 13 episodes right now. Definitely won a lot. It was rough. Emotional.
I remember it hit you pretty
It's
hard when you were
emotionally
watching
rough.
because I still lived with you when you were like watching, like when you had just like finished it and
Yeah.
it had done a number on
Yeah,
you.
it's really, really good. Highly recommend it. All right, let's talk about Howl though, because we're not here to.
You don't just want to talk about other werewolf projects?
Yeah, there's a
You
couple.
guys ever see
others
Wolf
that-
of Snow Hollow?
I
That
was
one-
just about to say
that one
that.
kicks
Werewolf,
ass.
werewolf within.
Werewolves
Werewolves
Within?
within.
Yes.
that was great
I
too.
need to see that one.
Both of them I would
yeah.
recommend. For
Which
sure.
actually, I just found out Werewolves Within was written by. Oh shoot!
that guy.
Dang it, dude! I'm so bad at remembering things. Werewolves. He also wrote. What was the love one that we just watched? Heart Eyes.
Hard Eyes.
Yeah,
That was an interesting one from this year.
So the guy who wrote that movie, Josh Rubin. He's one of like the main comedians on Dropout.
And he
He's
makes
on there
good
all the time.
sandwiches too,
Yeah.
Rubens.
Yeah. But yeah, he did Werewolves Within.
Derek is sick and has no time for my bullshit today.
I am sick and cannot remember people's names.
Fair. Perfectly reasonable. But yeah, no, we can talk about Howl, I guess.
do it.
We're here to discuss this werewolf movie.
I thought you guys had like 20 more werewolf content things.
we could go on and on about
Alvin
wolf.
and the Chipmunks Meet the Wolfman is really good.
You do like that one. You brought that one up.
But no, Howl. Howl is cool.
Oh, okay, we're talking about Howl.
Howl
Howl's
2015.
Moving Castle by Studio Ghibli.
Howl's Moving Werewolf. Howl's Moving... I can't think of anything else.
That's basically it.
What's
Yeah.
a werewolf's like den? Because I feel like Draculas and vampires have like castles. That's their big thing, you know. But I don't know. Like I guess just the woods.
woods.
Probably a hole in the woods like we're in right now.
The moors.
The moors. I
the
love the
underworld.
word. The moors is so like ominous, gothic. It just like makes me think of fog.
Underworld. I don't remember where they were. Where they were. They were like in
In the moors.
in the basement.
No, that was a very urban setting with Underworld.
You know, we never actually got it, but What We Do in the Shadows was supposed to have a spin-off called
Yeah.
Werewolves. And we
I
never got
really
it.
love the Restarby
Oh my
werewolf.
God. Yeah.
Werewolves,
pack
not
in the
swearwolves.
movie.
That was so
So
fun.
I say that a lot.
And I'm
Werewolves? I
so
say I have a
sad
shirt
that like
that
never
says
took
it.
off.
Oh my
And
God,
like
yeah.
the TV show didn't.
Yeah,
end
it
up
never
coming to
actually
be.
happened. Maybe
No.
it will happen. I mean, What We Do in the Shadows TV show is very popular.
Yes, yeah, that one did. Well, I remember they did like a spin-off with like the 2 police
Yeah,
officers.
Wellington.
Yeah, Wellington
Paranormal.
I never checked that one out.
I
Did you
started it and
I
it was
also
pretty
started
good,
it.
and then I like
I just stopped.
for some reason.
Yeah, just kind of
I'm honestly the same.
nothing
I watched
came
like
of
5
it, which
episodes.
is so sad
and then
because
never
I
watched it
loved the setting, the world, and all that kind of stuff.
again. I'm hoping that the unsuccessful nature of that didn't deter them from.
That's what
making
I think. That's what I was
werewolves.
trying to get at. Like, I feel like that one not finding a huge amount of success might contribute to the fact that we never got a Werewolves Not Swearwolves TV show, which would be so fun. I love just like a unique take on something that we've seen for so long, right? I like that being a fun thing. We're we need to keep our our blood pressure down. Let's not swear and get all aggro and angry on each other, or we're gonna wolf out, and you're not gonna want to be around.
Wolf out,
for
bro.
it. Wolves are fun, and wolves are definitely fun. And Howl 2015.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I have
what do
nothing
we-
else to say about the
No,
movie.
I guess
so
yeah.
think
We
we're just on
got
expectations.
into our shit so fast.
That's good.
We usually bullshit for so long. I guess we can talk about our. Let's talk about the Rotten Tomatoes reviews.
That's what we're missing.
That's what we do. That's what we're missing. We're missing something,
Well,
guys.
and, like, the
We've
cast,
been gone
we
for a
didn't even
minute.
talk about the fact that
Oh yeah, we
Ed Spielers, star of Aragon,
From what 2006?
he plays Joe in this, and a little baby Brett Goldstein before he became huge and popular.
for like 2
which
minutes.
is crazy that he was even in this movie. I feel like he was there, and then he was like, "I have better things to do." Fuck this.
but it was like, I don't know. I mean, maybe he was big in England at the time. I don't know. I didn't really know him before Ted Lasso.
Lasso, yeah.
So like, it could also just been like, this is like his little breakout first little.
Yeah, Howl is really
thing.
what made him.
Yeah.
Now everybody knows him. Now he's doing cameos in Marvel movies.
I can't see anything that he was in that I knew. I mean, other than
in the
like,
before times.
drunk history. He was in that TV show Derek. Was
yeah,
he?
a TV show about you, Derek.
I loved that show.
It says he plays-
actually.
Was
Tom,
it because it was the same name as you? Yeah,
Yeah.
he wasn't
11
Derek. He was
episodes.
Tom.
No,
Tom and Derek.
I didn't love that show because they put. We don't need it. I'll start crying if we get into the reason I love that show. You guys should watch Derek. It's really
very
good.
good.
It's
yeah.
really
No,
good.
Derek is great.
So Emma, funny, on brand enough, Emma Wolf, with an E at the end, from Spooky Astronauts, has a rotten review for this movie that says, all the characters were utterly annoying. The second thing was the cheese factor in this movie was very high. And that's what she says. Original score 3 out of 10.
Felix Vasquez Jr. from Cinema Raised says, "It's fun, funny, creepy, and never overstays its welcome. Sometimes that's all you want from a horror film."
That's true. Niall Brown from Movies in Focus with a fresh review says, the werewolf may be the least overused mythical monster in the horror pantheon. You've likely seen fewer werewolf movies than those with vampires or zombies, but that doesn't mean that this hairy cousin is any less revered. Original score 3 out of 5. I can't really tell if he's like positive about this movie or not.
Yeah, he was just like, they don't make a lot of werewolf
We
movies.
need more werewolf movies, guys. Which is true. We get a lot of vampires and zombies.
We do.
I'm gonna sneeze.
Oh, God. That sneeze took him.
I should probably edit that out.
Editor, leave that in.
Can't have people know we sneeze.
Gary McConaughey. Whoa, Gary with 2 R's. McConaughey. Gary McConaughey. God, that word is tripping me up. With an original score of 3 out of 5. There's still much to admire and enjoy.
That's it. That's
There
all
is
it
still
is.
much to admire and enjoy. I think
Oh,
Gary's correct.
You're
there.
right, Gary. That is a weird name, McConaughey.
McConaughey.
McConaughey, Daily Record UK.
Bet his legs hurt. They're a little achy.
You're a little achy breaky. Should we discuss our expectations that we were coming into this movie?
Yeah, Alex. So you've seen this movie a couple times now.
I have.
Yes.
Yes.
What was your expectation going into like a third time?
Well,
Or
Well,
even
also-
what were your fresh takes like before you would even see
Yeah.
it?
Well, I'll say I don't remember much of what my fresh takes were
Yeah.
because it's been a few years.
Fair.
But I did rewatch it yesterday.
Oh, so you were fresh.
Yeah, because I didn't know we were gonna have a fun watch party together.
Oh, I should have told you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. So I was just trying to come in prepared. Be
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
guest.
Yeah.
But
Did his homework.
yeah, but
We were bad hosts by not telling him.
I definitely normally tell people that. I'm so sorry.
I had some expectations of like that it'd feel like a fun rewatch.
Yeah.
But as I was watching it, there was so much that I didn't remember about the movie that it almost was like watching it for the first time all over again.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So that was
Which
very
is fun.
I love that.
Yeah. And then this third watch with you guys was very fun because there was stuff that I was excited for you guys to see from both a positive and a negative point of view. And it was like, it's kind of like when you show somebody something that like, you know, you either really want them to see because it's really good or because it's like really fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And you want to
Yeah.
see their reactions. And it was kind of like that thing where I was
Yep.
like, oh, this part's coming up. I can't wait to see what they think of this or like
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
So
yeah.
No, I think it was a fun watch with all of us together,
Oh,
like
for
getting
sure.
to comment on it as it was all happening.
The difference of watching
in the new space, the studio, the dedicated podcast zone,
the whole.
the dedicated podcast
the
hole.
DPZ hole, dedicated podcast,
the DPZH.
I shouldn't try to talk today. It's a great time. All right, my first general my only general expectation.
Yeah.
I just thought I would have a hilarious time. I thought I would laugh a lot.
Yeah. I was expecting, I was thinking most of our fun would come from our discussions of it, but I was like, I feel like this one's actually going to be like a pretty straight up and down werewolf movie that like isn't great and isn't terrible at the same time. So I was like, I'm intrigued to see what this is about, what Aleks has brought to the table here. I was looking forward to it. My first formal expectation was that damn near everyone is going to die. Because while we were watching the trailer, there were a few people that it showed in that I'm like, I guarantee almost none of them are going to live to the end.
Yeah, it really just gave it all.
All just fodder for this werewolf to tear through for sure.
That was one of the most revealing trailers I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, and that really kind of like pissed me off. When
it
we watched
wasn't
the trailer
for a
because,
while
like,
though.
Yeah.
Like the trailer showed a decent amount, and then like I was like, okay, cool, and then like right at the end of the trailer, it shows you like
the
too
full
much.
creature's
Yeah.
face.
Yeah,
it was,
and like I hated that because the movie does a good job
Yes.
of like waiting to reveal the werewolf, and when they just show it in the trailer, you're like,
Which is
the
like,
fucking
you
point?
need to create some form of mystery and intrigue to get people to come watch the movie. If you
Exactly.
show them what the wolf
Yeah.
looks like, because that's the biggest thing. You hear that there's a
Absolutely.
wolf movie, you're like, well, what's the design? What's the creature look like? You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so for them to just spoil that, it's like, well, I don't really need to see it now. I've seen all I need to, which I hate in a trailer.
Me too. My first expectation was terrible transformation scene. I mean, really, I just expect that in every werewolf movie.
It's
at
tough
this
when you
point.
got movies like An American Werewolf in London
Paris.
where they do it so great. No, London. Say it with me, London.
the pea stains in American Werewolf in Paris.
But yeah, so you're expecting a
think about those
pretty
a lot.
rough one.
Yeah.
I feel like there are no okay werewolf transformation scenes. There's either great ones or there's
really
terrible
bad
ones.
ones.
Yeah,
I
there
agree.
is no middle ground there.
I agree, yeah. And I don't know. That's a huge expectation I have going to a werewolf movie too. Is
All
like,
the
What is
time.
the transformation
gonna
going to
be?
be?
Yes.
I
I
mean,
care
that's
about
how I
that a
felt with
lot.
like 2025's Wolfman. I'm like, okay, what's this sequence going to look like, you know? And while like we talked about this before the podcast, but I was like, I was not incredibly fond of the design for the werewolf in that one, but I did like the sound design when
Yes.
he was transforming, like the breaking of the bone sound
Gross.
effects. Those I think sound can really help with a transformation.
What about an
sequence like that?
exploding penis?
That also is pretty good. I do like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, not enough werewolf movies have that. You know?
Only
not,
one.
Not enough werewolf movies are bold enough. You know, they really got the nards to
None
go
of
that
them-
far.
Not enough of them are erect enough.
My second formal expectation here was that it was going to be a mostly CG wolf with like the occasional practical suit. Just because like it seemed like a lower budget werewolf movie, so I was like, they're probably going to have mostly like, you know, a kind of iffy CGI werewolf. I actually wasn't expecting that much practical stuff, and we'll talk about how that ended up at the end.
Yeah. Mine was pretty much along the same lines. I just said hairless werewolves.
Oh, you were expecting that?
I was. Yeah.
Which I guess we saw a little bit in the trailer.
I was even expecting that before, though. I was just like expecting basically nude, just creatures.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just gave me that vibe.
Well, when you hear it's a low budget movie, you're like, there's no way they got hair money.
No.
Hair's expensive.
No, come on, hair's pricey.
What are they going to do? Go down to the local sanatorium and just shave some heads? Bad joke.
My next one was violent kills. I was actually expecting this one to get kind of like what is the rating for this movie? Is it PG?
think it's R.
Is it R? I guess there's a decent
Or
amount
possibly
Oh,
even
it's
unrated.
It's unrated.
Yeah, I
it's
was going to say, because it didn't have a theatrical
I guess that's
release.
fair,
It's
yeah.
probably,
Yeah, it's
But
not
so
rated. And it was also a British movie.
The vibe of it, I was expecting a lot of like off-screen kills, but I was expecting them to get a little more aggressive with those and violent with this werewolf. And so I was actually kind of looking forward to how the kills were going to go down.
Annoying characters that you just want to die.
Oh, yeah.
That was just, you know.
That's
you know.
perfect in any low budget horror movie.
Exactly.
There's always
That's-
the characters that you expect or the characters that you want to
Yeah.
die or whatever. And
I mean, we'll get into it, but we were like listing the tropes of these characters
Yes.
while they were coming
Their
on.
characters and their archetypes are like 100% their one thing and nothing else. Actually, funny enough, you were expecting a bad transformation scene. I was expecting no transformation scene.
Oh, nice.
Just because based on it, it didn't seem like we had a main character that was struggling with their lycanthropy. I was just like, they just seemed to be wolves in this world. And so I'm like, I think we're just going to see them as the wolf form and never see them go from one to the other.
Yeah, I don't know. I was under the mindset of like there were just a lot of people in the movie, so someone had to transform. But then when we were watching, I kind of threw that expectation out the window, and I was like, oh, I guess people can transform.
Yeah.
It was weird.
But yeah, because I was also like, another thing is like, it's hard to do a werewolf transformation scene, and they can be expensive sometimes. So I'm like, I feel like they might just like forego that entirely. Be like, they're just here. We're just going to worry about the wolf itself and not how we got there. Yeah. Don't worry about it. There's just wolves, guys. We gave you what you want. Get off my back.
Doesn't matter how naked they are. There's wolves here.
It's none of your business how naked my wolves are.
Look at my wolf's cock. My next one is a wild ending that feels very B movie. I feel like these kind of low budget movies, they tend to throw like a big left curve, like out of nowhere crazy ending.
Yeah,
maybe
it's
like an
often
exploding
so
wolf or
predictable, and
something.
then like at the very end, they're like, we got to do something new.
Yeah, I didn't write it down, but along with that was also like a decapitation scene of some sort.
You do love to see it. It is very effective.
And when it's done well in a werewolf movie, it's
so satisfying.
And it's just so fun because, like, I think we talked about on another episode, you had Science Jim come in here and talk about, like, what it would take to decapitate a person. Like, the strength it would take to do that.
It is a lot.
It's a lot more than you would think. So, like, to think that a werewolf has that amount of strength to just, like, one swipe of their claw take out a head, like, that's pretty fun. I really enjoy that a lot. My final expectation was that it was going to have a decent amount of monster delay, actually. Because even though the trailer did spoil it, I was seeing a lot of footage without any werewolves in it. So I'm like, they might actually do a good job of like holding off showing us the entirety of the werewolf until like much later in the movie.
My final one is an overuse of CGI.
Yeah.
I just, these kind of low budget movies, you expect way too much CGI.
It's just that kind of stuff where you're like, we'll do it in post. We'll finish it and not actually put in the work to make like a good practical werewolf.
And bad CG, right? Like
Yes.
you always see like,
Yeah.
how many times have you seen movies like that where on like Sci-Fi Channel or something? Right?
Yes.
Where it's like the CG monster that like the gravity of him isn't quite right, so he's like walking across the ground, he's kind of floating.
wrong.
He doesn't really feel like he's like in the world.
Yeah.
That's so.
Completely agree.
No, exactly. But I mean, we'll always like advocate for practical effects. They're just so fun because like not only do they look awesome, they also like I feel like it elicits such a better reaction from the actors too.
Yeah.
Not just like here's a guy in like in a green suit. There's actually a funny picture from Twilight actually of like Bella petting the head of a wolf, and it's a dude in like a green suit who just has his head bent
I've
down
seen
in
that
front
picture.
of her, and it's like. It's just so much more believable if you got this like this mock-up of a wolf's head or something. It's so fun.
But it probably really worked for Kristen Stewart because I have heard that she has a kink for green suit men.
Is that true?
Yeah, so
I don't
like-
think she has a kink for men at all.
Yeah,
actually.
I think she's a lesbian.
Well, yeah, okay, so she's what we call bisexual, where she's
Maybe she's
very-
colorblind.
No, listen.
Maybe she's
No, please
colorblind. She
explain,
can't
Derek.
see
I want to
green.
know what. I've never heard of this bisexual.
She likes when a man is
thing.
completely covered in green because she can't see him.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Her
No, where were
brain-
you going? What was your
This
train?
is where I was going.
Okay,
with it.
okay.
If a man is in a green suit, she can change it in post in her brain.
Oh,
in her brain.
and see
She's
a
got
woman.
After
Okay.
Effects in her
Yeah.
brain.
Yeah.
But she's also what we call a bisexual, where she's like, I only like women unless it's a man in a green suit.
Unless it's a full moon, and then for that one night, I like.
A wolf sexual.
Well, guys,
I actually didn't know she was a lesbian.
How do you not?
I don't know. I don't pay
which
attention to her.
is such a shame when it's like she had both Edward and Jacob to pick from,
And she picked
and-
a cat. I don't know.
I don't know.
She picked a
Team
stray
Edward,
cat.
Team Jacob. Where do you guys fall?
Well,
man.
I've seen 2 of those.
That's one more than I've seen.
Oh,
I've seen the first one.
I feel like I'm a Team Edward kind of guy.
but that's just because you like Robert Pattinson.
That's the problem.
And
Is I just
also
fall
really
towards
like-
Robert Pattinson. I like him a lot.
And I feel like since you said that, I have to say the other guy. What is it? Peter Lamarck?
No, Taylor Lautner.
Taylor Lautner.
was making-
Shark Boy.
You know what's crazy
Guys,
is his
I was
wife is
joking.
also named Taylor, so they're both Taylor Lautner.
That's
Isn't that
so
I
confusing.
knew a couple who were both named Shelby.
Really?
Yeah, they both
Shelby.
Shelby. I'm not going to say the last name. I'm not
Yeah.
going to dox them here, but
Yeah,
they
yeah,
know who they
that's
are.
Do you have their social
Boy
security
Shelby
number?
and girl
Boy
Shelby.
Shelby and Girl Shelby. If
That's
you're
what we
listening to
called
this,
them. Yeah,
we're
you-
sparing you the docs today.
I would definitely call them Belby and Gelby.
You know what's
That's
funny
better.
is my hang up on the whole like Team Edward, Team Jacob is actually not even just about the fact that I like Robert Pattinson. It's the thought that like there's a scene in one of the later, I can't remember which movie it is. I haven't seen the movies in forever, where they're like Bella is like almost freezing to death. She's so cold, and Edward is a vampire. He can't warm her, so she has to snuzzle up to Jacob. Like much to the
So he's getting cucked.
a little bit. He hates it. He looks like super pissed off about it, but like he needs his girlfriend to be warm and healthy and stuff. And so I'm like, I get too hot. I can't snuggle up next to someone in bed if I'm too hot. I can't deal with it.
Makes
So I
sense.
couldn't be with Jacob because he's too hot for me, too warm
makes sense.
specifically.
Yeah.
So if I got the cold vampire boyfriend, I could do that.
Can we please do a supercut of Twilight where Bella is Bella Lugosi?
That would be really good.
That would be really funny.
I don't know how many Bela Lugosi scenes work within
You
Twilight
could make
Forever.
them all. You
there's
could make
so many.
anything. You can make it anything. Are you going to Google it and see if it's done?
No, I just kind of wanted to look up lines that Bella says in Twilight and try to do them as Bela Lugosi.
Bella Lugosi.
Bela.
I know what you are.
They're all just
A
fucking...
vampire.
When life offers you a dream so far beyond any of your expectations, it's not reasonable to grieve when it comes to an end. That was nothing. There's nothing there.
No.
You guys want to talk about Howl?
That got me off a little bit. So thank you.
You're welcome.
I've been sick, so it's not been possible. So
Your exclusive kink is like out of context quotes read by Bela Lugosi.
Oh, absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll just open the Bible to a random page. It's the only reason I keep a Bible around.
He's on one of those like AI girlfriend sites.
Oh
where he's looking
my
at Bela
God.
Lugosi. And he's like,
I have a girlfriend trained in.
Like, what's all this money you're spending on AI girlfriends? Do you have a woman? that you're
Babe.
speaking to?
It's just Bella
It's
Lugosi.
a man. Hey,
It's
listen,
just Bella Lugosi.
It's not what you think.
so much more.
just
It actually
says
is
movie
absolutely a sex thing, but still.
You sound the best. All right, that's stupid.
It is wild that Bela Lugosi is also in The Wolfman. Like, he's iconic for being Dracula.
He
but
was
is-
in The Wolfman. He was in the Frankenstein sequels.
Yeah.
He was in it all, and they treated him like shit.
Yes,
they did.
Bad career. Also, just bad management on
Was it-
his end too. Had like gambling issues.
What was that
Poor
movie?
man.
What was that movie that had him in it?
Ed Wood.
Plan 9
Ed Wood.
from outer
Yes.
space.
Yeah, Ed Wood is what I was thinking
Oh,
of. Yeah.
yeah.
With Jim Carrey.
Where you like,
Jim,
there's a guy that play. Yeah, exactly.
with Johnny Depp. Is that what you're trying to say?
Jim Carrey. Yeah.
Jim Carrey.
Jim
Jim Carrey. Yeah.
Oh, well, I was also thinking about Man on the Moon because they're
Oh.
very similar biopics. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah.
yeah,
no,
if you haven't seen Ed Wood, I highly recommend
very
that movie.
good.
It's a good movie.
Martin Landau as Bela Lugosi.
Yeah.
Great.
But yeah, he basically, I think in that movie he says nobody gives a fuck about Bela. It's
Yeah,
pretty,
he
and that's
does it.
kind of true. What happened?
That's
to
what
him.
happened to him.
I want
A
to
sad career for the
take
man.
that clip and put that over Bella when she's picking between Edward and nobody gives a fuck about Bella. All right,
Tragic movies. Werewolves are tragic, and that's the thing. They're like a sympathetic creature. At least originally they were. At
I mean,
least
people like
within,
dogs.
Within like the Wolfman.
Yeah,
it's a sad
right.
thing, right? It's a curse that is thrust upon him.
Yeah.
by
He can't
Bela
control
Lugosi.
it. He can't do anything, and nobody believes him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also so sad that like how suicidal, specifically like Lon Chaney Jr.'s like Wolfman
Oh,
gets.
yeah.
Because
All
he
the
does
sequels,
die.
he does.
And
And he
then in a
comes-
subsequent movie, they bring out
Yeah.
his like coffin, expose it to
Yep,
moonlight.
in Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman.
Yes.
Yeah, it's some grave robbers open up his grave
What?
during a full moon,
Uh-huh.
and it brings him back to life.
Oh
and then
my
he
God.
wakes up in a hospital, and
like even
he's
in
like,
death,
I'm
he
supposed
cannot
to be
escape
dead.
it.
What
Like,
the fuck,
it's
dude?
So crazy.
And
Wow.
then
He's
didn't
just
see that.
so
the other
sad.
sequels after that, like House of Frankenstein, House of Dracula. It's just Larry
Even Abbott and
Talbot
Costello meet.
trying to find a way to kill himself.
Yeah,
Jesus
it's
Christ.
it's so dark because you just
How have I
cannot
not
die.
seen that?
It's
Oh,
wild.
watch him, dude! Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman is like one of my very favorite Universal monsters.
I've heard really
Very
good things about that
very
movie.
good.
Is that the one where Bela Lugosi plays the monster?
He does in it, yeah, for bits and pieces. And it's
Yeah.
actually they had him have speaking lines because in I think it was Son of Frankenstein was the last one right before that. Bela Lugosi played Igor.
Yes,
And his brain
The
gets
Hunchback.
put into the monster's
That's
body,
right.
and
Yeah.
and so then the monster speaks like Igor and whatever. And so in this one, there's actually like a lot of weird scenes where it looks like Bela's trying to talk as the monster.
Yeah, the
or
canon
something.
lore
But-
with like the original
yeah.
Universal monsters gets crazy.
they
when you
cut
get into
out-
those wild sequels like House of Frankenstein's Dracula's son, and the when they start meeting and having a lot of crossovers.
Yeah.
but yeah, poor Lon Chaney Jr. just cannot stop being a werewolf.
No, and they cut out all of Bela Lugosi's speaking lines in
Yes.
that movie and just
What?
It's
turned
so
it back into
sad.
like a grunting.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, and Lon Chaney Jr. though, he's the only one who got to play all the monsters. He
Yeah.
played Dracula, he played the Mummy, he was
Frankenstein's
Frankenstein's monster.
Oh,
He's the
that's
only one
crazy.
who was the Wolfman.
Yes. He played the Wolfman like 5 times, I think. 5 or
Uh-huh.
6 different times. Like he
yeah,
was all
five
the times.
5 times.
You know
yeah.
something that really breaks my heart is like you have these like Universal monsters, right? That are super, super famous now, and everybody talks about them, and people really love and admire these old movies. But if you look at like reviews from the time that the movies came out, because like we've talked about this a couple times on the podcast, but like Rotten Tomatoes had this whole thing where they went and took the reviews from the time and then inputted them into old movies to like kind of give an idea of where it sat when the movie first released. And Frankenstein Meets Wolfman had only a 25% approval rating from critics at the time, which is crazy because that movie is very upheld now. People talk very highly of that movie.
I mean, as far as the sequels go, it's not up there with like Bride of Frankenstein or something.
Yeah, for sure. Bride of Frankenstein is like one of the best movies ever made.
But I think it's definitely one of the better sequels that Universal did. And all of this like Marvel shared universe stuff, DC, like all these things. That was the very first movie to ever do it.
Yes. Yeah. No, yeah, the first
very
like
first
crossover
movie to ever
of like
have a crossover
bringing these
like
larger than life characters together in a single movie, and that's why there were so goddamn many of them. They just kept doing it.
That's so cool.
Because Universal was also at a point where they were starting to put money, like they got a whole new team of people in charge of them, and they were actually like, we're going to start putting more of our money into like the musicals that we want to make and those kinds of things. So they put less money into their horror IPs. So they're like, we're not going to make any new horror characters. So let's just take the ones that we already have and just make them play with it. It's like taking your toys and like, okay, now kiss.
That's crazy. But I was just gonna say, like, I feel like people just didn't appreciate what was happening.
Yeah.
You know, they were like,
cool stuff.
I've been really into the making of Psycho lately. Because Psycho is my favorite horror movie of all time, and I've
never heard of that.
So it's a movie about a cat. I'm just kidding. No, the monster Ed Gein.
Oh yeah,
Netflix show just came out.
That came out,
and I've been watching it. It's been fine, but there's been like half of it. Have you watched it yet?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm like halfway through it. I was not expecting all of the Psycho stuff.
Yeah, I know. They switch
you were
over to
telling me about
Hitchcock.
that. I was surprised.
And Anthony Perkins and like
It's
all that
so
stuff.
amazing.
I was not ready for that.
That's probably my favorite part of the series.
It's
so far.
really cool.
And I also just watched Psycho 2 for the first time as well. I don't know if you've seen Psycho 2.
have.
That movie fucking kicked ass.
It's crazy. And did you see the Vince Vaughn remake?
No.
That's also pretty good.
Oh, really?
Is it?
It is, yes.
Because I
didn't have that much faith in Vince Vaughn.
No, it's actually pretty good. It's one of his better performances, I think.
All right.
It's worth a watch.
going to watch
I did watch
that
him. What was it? Was it Freaky? Was that the one where he did like
Freaky was
a
fun.
Freaky
I like
Friday
that,
thing?
yeah.
He was actually pretty good.
But,
That
yeah,
one was
I
like a
mean,
serial killer.
It's not as good,
Obviously.
obviously.
Yeah.
But no,
Could
for
never
like
be.
a remake, like it's pretty good.
Okay, interesting.
I put it on the list.
So Psycho was like the thing that got me into like horror because I watched it. I've told this story a million times. I watched it. I snuck down to my basement. It was the only rated R movie we had. I put it in the thing. I watched it. I was like 8 years old. Scared the shit
you
out
just
of me.
like were itching for a rated R. Like I don't care what it is. It's just got to be R.
Actually, yes, because I had Temple of Doom. So I guess we technically had two. We had Temple of Doom and we had Psycho, and those were the
Temple
only
of Doom R?
Yeah. It was like
not
the
know
whole
that.
thing where it was like the first rated R movie of all time.
I mean, I guess it does. There are some crazy things in that movie,
Yeah,
so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, some really
But
crazy
those were the
shit.
only two movies I wasn't allowed to watch, and so of course I snuck down in my basement.
Gotta
and watched
do that.
Temple of Doom I just enjoyed, and the heart was icky, but that was
Yeah.
it. But even to this day, I can't watch that movie without feeling gross.
Really?
I
Just,
don't
like,
know why.
Craving monkey
Lives
brains.
with
Dude,
you. I
I
wanna
get so
eat monkey
hungry
brains
for monkey
so
brains. It's like
Anyway, it's so crazy to me that like Psycho when it first came out was just like these Universal monster movies where like it didn't really get the attention that it deserved at the time, and then later on it did when people were more open minded and more appreciative of these things. And
and the icons that they've all become, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
like we were just talking about how Bela Lugosi had such a sad life after Dracula and how everyone treated him like shit and whatever. And now everybody ever who does a vampire impression, dresses up as a vampire, anything, every Spirit Halloween fucking vampire, anything, it's Bela Lugosi
That's
as
what
Dracula.
blows my mind about it. It's like he was the first. Like he even like he predates the movie because he was in the stage adaptation of it, which they then acquired the rights from. They acquired the rights for that as well as like the Bram Stoker story, and so like he's like the like OG vampire Dracula, and he's like the what am I trying to say? Like the what am I trying to say? There's a word for it that is escaping me right now, but he's like the de facto. Anything that comes after him is a deviation of that Dracula portrayal.
He is the archetype.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Like, and
the costume, the voice,
like,
everything.
Literally every Dracula adaptation. Vampires being sexy is because of him. Like if you look at like Nosferatu is the only Dracula adaptation done before.
Yes.
And
I don't know. He was pretty sexy.
Yeah.
I mean, dweeby little shoulders up and his little buck teeth.
There's someone for everyone.
That's true. That's true.
But
Everyone
you
needs
know,
love.
they really like Bram Stoker did want Dracula to be more disgusting and creepy and gross and like a monster.
Yeah.
And Nosferatu really was like, hey, that's what this is. Then Bela Lugosi's like sexy, sneaking into your room, like what's going on? And now, like we got fucking Team Edward, we got Anne Rice.
Exactly. Vampires have become
like
sexy.
that is all Bela Lugosi. You know? Yeah.
Thank God for 50 Shades of Grey, man. It really paved the way for. Okay,
That's crazy.
Howls.
So we're straying into vampire territory here, and the two go hand in hand a lot of the
They
time.
do.
But no vampires here. We are here to talk about werewolves in Howl, 2015.
So we're on a train.
On a
Man.
train, not to Busan.
And,
No.
and right
Not
off the
on a
bat,
plane,
right
with
off
no
the bat,
snakes.
we're gifted with the title of this train company is like Alpha Tracks.
Yeah, and immediately we're like, okay, so
We're in a werewolf
pack
movie.
mentality, alpha, beta kind of stuff, right?
And you get that feeling too from Ed Spieler's character Joe.
Yeah.
He's very
Aragon.
submissive, kind of, right?
Yes.
Like his boss comes up to him and is like, hey, you need to work a double shift today. And he's like, I just fucking got off. What he's
Yeah.
like, you're on the red line train. Fuck you. Also,
do your job better.
yeah, you aren't like charging people for their tickets. You aren't checking if they bought tickets,
Yeah.
whatever. Like, go be a dick and get in everyone's
So
face.
he's
and
like
make them buy
he's like a
things.
pushover type, and it seems
Yeah.
like it's like kind of his arc as a character in the movie to kind of like grow a pair. Which
What's that?
grow nards.
Grow
as they say.
nards,
Yeah.
truly.
Werewolf have nards. I just liked the idea that they were like, this place is called Alpha Tracks. Also,
Yeah.
the opening word, Howl.
Yes.
The opening title, I guess.
the
I did
title
like the
card.
way they did this. They had like the O was in the moon, and then it transferred into the door.
Yeah,
Like
it's
a light
the
on the door.
light on the like the push open button
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
train door.
It was cool. It was a neat transition.
It was a little gimmicky.
There
but it
definitely
worked.
there are things to like in this movie for sure, but like for the most part, it is like like I mentioned earlier, it is a straightforward, straight up and down, exactly what you would expect from a horror movie that has some kind of creature wolf type thing in it, including every single character being like the most archetypal. Like you see them for 3 seconds, you're like, well, I know exactly what you're about. You're going to be the nerdy one. You're like the stereotypical like obnoxious teen girl. There's these old people. There's this one guy who kind of feels like the jock kind of role, the asshole character, the love interest. They're all there. Everything's there.
Literally
You got a
everything
whole
is
troop
there.
of characters to play with.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know if you guys felt, but I felt like they got into the action pretty quick.
Yeah.
They didn't waste their time.
Yeah.
Which
No.
I was worried about that when the movie first started. I was like, okay, we're going to be sitting here for a
Yes.
while. We're going to sit these annoying people. But no, he kind of checks everyone's tickets. You see a kind of awkward love moment with
Yeah.
the two characters that are supposed to be in love, but it's very not believable.
Yep.
And then the train stops.
Yeah, and the train stops for unexpected reasons, and I actually appreciated that too. I wrote that down where I was like, I like that this movie does not take too long to get us into the quote unquote wolf's den.
But
if you would.
It did have little moments of jump scares throughout. Which
There were a couple. There was like a chihuahua
Yeah,
under
the
a
very
seat.
first jump scare,
Yeah.
the chihuahua under the seat, that got Derek.
That got Derek.
I screamed like a little bitch boy. But also like why? I don't understand this trope in movies. I feel like when you're watching a movie, you understand it's a horror movie. I don't need you to jump scare me before anything's happening in the movie because personally, I think that deflates the later jump scares.
I mean, honestly, I feel like it's like a real beta move on the director's behalf, where it's like, like, is this movie scary? Like, it's scary. Look, it's
jump
scary.
scares. I
feel like it shows like a lack of faith in like my movie is scary enough, which
Yeah.
it does. I would argue it is sometimes.
It does.
I feel like when we see the actual werewolves in their setting, like it is eerie, off-putting,
Yeah.
and scary. It didn't need a jump scare.
And the use of that jump scare at the beginning with the chihuahua kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
like adds a weird expectation that there's going to be a lot of jump scares,
Yes.
and there really weren't a lot of jump scares.
No, it's funny. I actually wrote a note that said, "Oh yeah, there's been a few jump scares just kind of sprinkled throughout." But then, like halfway through the movie, that just kind of goes away.
Yeah, and it's like most of the stuff you see later on that is scary is like the anticipation stuff, or the
Yes.
like stuff is building in. There's
Yes.
very few like, and even the kind of jump scary parts aren't out of left field. It's
Yeah.
like you see it coming and you're just waiting for
You
it to
expect it.
happen.
Yeah, exactly.
which are very effective.
No, they're very effective. But I think it's just like the fact that like we are not at that moment in the earlier movie in any kind of horror setting that they kind of have to like remind you.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, this is horror, by the way. Just so you know.
I
Don't
love
forget.
I love Mike Flanagan with he's talked about jump scares before, and he talks about
Yeah, how he won a record for it.
well, but he did that because in Midnight Club. Do you ever watch Midnight Club?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that first episode, he won the record for most jump scares
Just
in an
to prove a
episode.
point.
But it was just to prove a point because they told him to have more jump scares.
Exactly.
And he got mad because he's like, that's such a cheap way to do horror.
Yes.
I want to do it with suspense and stuff. And I do think that jump scares can be very effective. Like, we just saw Good Boy.
Yeah.
And Good Boy has 2 jump scares in the entire movie.
Very effective.
And they are so goddamn effective because you don't see them coming, because you don't have something like this where you're just living your life experiencing these new characters and there's a fucking chihuahua under a seat.
Yeah.
I am all for foreshadowing. I really am. I think foreshadowing can be so effective. But when it's just a dog under a seat as a jump scare, it destroys the tone and it really it nullifies me.
And it just kind of like, it feels forced. I think is the biggest thing. When they're not like well paced, well placed, it does just feel like it's a forced thing to get a rise and a scare out of people.
All right, now we've talked 10 minutes about the 30-second thing. That
yeah, exactly. So the train stops, and what we see at first is like the conductor of the train.
Yeah.
The train man goes out and he's shining a flashlight out, and there's a whole ass deer stuck under one of the cars.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing is he says, "Dear, oh dear." But like in the most endearing way.
Yeah, the most posh British.
The most posh British way, because it was.
Well, then he calls it sausage when he pulls it out of the...
It was
All
like
right,
a whole
sausage.
practical deer that they made for it, too.
It was pretty effective.
But it was, what the hell is his name?
I don't know. You said he was in Gotham.
He was
the guy
in
who played
Gotham.
Alfred in Gotham.
Yeah. It was, god damn it, where are you? Sean Pertwee, who was just listed as driver, who I think was in this movie for a total of like 2.5 minutes total.
And hey, and that just means, there's more Alfreds in horror.
Yeah.
Which is good because Michael Goff, he was in Hammer's Dracula.
Oh, that's right.
And then another Alfred, what's his face, who's Alfred for Ben Affleck's Batman, was in Aragon
Michael
with that
Caine?
Spieler.
That's
not
it's
Michael
all
Caine,
connected.
fucking, what's his name?
Connected through dragons.
Yeah.
The dragons
I can't
bond
think of
us.
his name.
I can't think of his
Pac
name.
mentality.
But anyway.
Is it Jeremy Irons?
Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy
Thank you.
Irons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Michael
yeah.
Caine.
See, it's all connected.
That came out of.
So-
I don't know where I pulled that from. But so our lovely Pertwee here, the Alfred from Gotham, dies.
Yeah.
He gets got pretty early on. I enjoy the fact that like there's not a lot of setup for like where these werewolves came from, what they're about. They're just there.
Yeah, it threw us in.
And we don't see them for a while, which I do appreciate. Love me some good monster delay. It's a great thing that you can put into your horror.
I think you do see their legs right now, though.
Yes, yeah. You see
No,
them
at
kind of
that-
underneath.
I don't think you do at that part.
We might not.
Because I think when, like, maybe we'll have to go back and watch again, but I think when he gets got, it's the classic, like, POV from the werewolf's point of view.
Oh, that's right,
Camera,
yeah.
like,
No, you're right.
coming up on him.
And you just hear like
then-
growling, snarling
yeah,
sounds.
and then it's you're inside the train and you like feel the thump of him getting hit against the
right.
train car as he's getting killed.
You're right. You're right.
But yeah, so I love a movie that'll do that, because like I think something that always detracts from the fear factor of any creature, any something killing people in movies is when you show all of it right away. It's like I can't build anything around that in my head anymore. There's no mystery and intrigue around that, right? Because that's I mean, what's greater than the fear of the unknown, right? And so I love, while I do know it's going to be a wolf, I don't know what it looks like.
you
You
know
know how spooky it is. Oh, probably because the movie's called Howl.
And it showed a big ass moon.
And show a big ass moon.
The posters, yeah,
Just off the
literally
top.
just a moon, and there's like a werewolf mouth around a train. And
I want another movie
This reminds-
that doesn't tell me what type of movie it is.
That's fair.
From every moment.
This reminds me of, you were talking about how you got all those bargain bin like horror movies, right? That
Yeah.
big collection of them. I also acquired a huge collection of movies because I had an old boss from my work who I think he was moving and just trying to downsize, so he sold me huge box full of mostly shitty movies for like $50. And in there's this one movie called Grizzly.
yes,
and like
I've seen Grizzly.
Yes. And my favorite part about it is like, you know how these like cheesy movies always have some kind of like subtitle quote from it? So it's like Grizzly, and the quote says, "It's gonna be a bear." That's all it says. So you're talking about movies that give
Okay.
away exactly what it's about.
Just
Like,
spell it out for
yeah,
you.
I assumed based on like the claw on the poster and the title.
The title of Grizzly,
I figured
yeah.
it was probably going to be a bear, but thank you for telling me it's going to be a bear. I appreciate that very much.
It's gonna be bear.
So yeah, Howl, it's gonna be a wolf, just in case you didn't know already.
Incredible.
But like, there's not a lot to get into in this movie. Like specifically, it's like a bunch of people who are stuck on this train in the middle of nowhere. They don't have any cell service because they're out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And they just like don't listen to the one guy whose job it is to keep them safe. He's like, no, there's protocols. I could get fired if I let you guys off this train. And the more, what I would argue is like they're pushing as like the alpha type in the movie. This asshole dude who keeps pushing over the pushover lead is basically like, no, we need to get out there and see what the problem is. And guess what? There's fucking wolves outside, dude.
There's wolves outside,
and they get in trouble with it. And so the first lady, I guess the second lady, because the trainman,
The wife of the president.
the trainman gets got and killed, and I think they find his dead body.
Yeah,
right?
because they get off the train. They're like, it's only 2-3 miles to the next
We'll just
station.
walk,
Let's walk,
whatever.
whatever.
Yeah.
Then they find the dead trainman.
Gutted body,
Yeah.
and actually was fairly impressed with like. There's a lot of practical that goes on with like the gore in the movie specifically, but yeah, there's like a whole ass body that's got a bunch of sausages up on its tummy, with all the guts spewing everywhere. But so they see that and they're like, oh, we need to run. And they hear, growls out in the woods. And so most of them make it onto this train, except that there's this one old couple. And the woman of this old couple is the last one to get on this train, which is so funny that they're like, oh shit, there's something out here killing people. They all book it. They do not help the old people at all.
they just
which
leave
is
it behind.
also, the survival of the fittest.
No,
Like,
which is so funny because like
that
I
fits
remember
in with-
I had made a comment about that and you said that. I'm like, yeah, I guess probably my initial instinct would just be to run, especially since everyone here is strangers to each other.
See, I don't know if I feel like I have way too much of that mentality of like I gotta save everybody.
Yeah.
But see,
I
that's,
feel like
I
you
like
would
to
be
think
the
that
type.
too. But it's kind of like, but also if it's like strangers,
Yeah.
if it's like if I'm with people I love, like I'm saving them first.
Obviously.
And
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if I feel like I could save the strangers, but like
will
honestly, if
try.
I find a body that's gutted like that and I'm running back to
Booking
the
it.
train,
Back
I'm
to the
getting
train.
fucking back on that train.
All right.
Especially,
But that-
I mean, now as a dad, like I got to get home to my son.
That's
Those
true.
old people
fair.
can get eaten.
That's
I'm
true.
sorry, that sounds
Yeah, you'll
bad,
get that
but-
pretty soon, Derek.
That's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
But so the old lady's the last one to get on the train. They're trying to close the door. Her leg is sticking out of it. And then, of course, she gets got by the wolf. And it fully lifts her up into
Oh,
the
yeah.
air just by, like, the lower half of her leg. Like,
Like
physically,
her
that
calf,
should not be
like,
possible.
It's like, yeah.
Does she just have incredible core strength to stay, like, at a 90-degree
Vertical.
angle the whole time?
But that's a thing that it reminded me a lot of Jaws.
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
beginning
yeah.
when the girl's swimming and she's getting like pulled under and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
where
yeah.
there's a lot of like you don't see what it is, but it's big and scary. like
It's got
that.
a lot of power.
Yeah, and so even though it was like ridiculous,
Yeah.
it also worked well to like
Yes.
add the scary element.
Which I agree with, and I was on board until she got back in the train. She was getting lifted up by her whole leg,
yeah.
thrashed about
That
for
was
like
fine.
40 seconds probably.
That was exciting.
And then they finally get her away from the wolf, pull her into it. She just has a single bite on her leg. And it looks gnarly and bloody, but like that would have done way
would
more.
not have
the
had a
leg
leg.
would be gone.
her cap, it would be like if anything's left, it's her bone is still attached
Yes.
and the meat's gone.
It would be shredded to bits. But instead she just has one large
One
bite
little
on her leg.
little baby bite.
But yeah, so then she gets bit, and that's not really super important for a long time. Then there's a lot of like between wolf moments where it's like you're kind of they're trying to get you to care a little bit more about the characters that are within.
I do
and
feel
I
like-
don't usually.
I do feel like that's where the movie fails, right? Is it's trying to establish all of these relationships and like these conversations and everything. And I would genuinely find ourselves having our own conversations during these
Right.
moments. Like
Yeah.
I noticed while we were watching the movie, we'd be watching during those big moments, like someone getting bit. But then as soon as it went away from that, we
Yeah.
would just have our own little side conversation.
And it
And,
is
then we
funny-
would go back into the movie.
Yeah, and like there were some bits that I missed, and Alex graciously was like, "Oh, well, this is just what just barely happened because we
Yeah.
were talking over it." But like, I do feel like for the most part, it shoots so straight that even though I missed like specific dialogue they said, I did understand what
I
was
feel like,
happening.
yeah, I
still.
don't feel like I missed anything.
Yeah, I'm like,
in
I'm
the
not
movie.
missing anything. I know what's going on. I know there's a wolf, and you guys are all afraid of it. Yeah.
But speaking of missing stuff,
Yes.
one thing I did like that happened with you guys, specifically with Derek, I think. I don't know if it happened to you, Isaac, but the bite and it not being a big deal for a while.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Derek made a comment later where he's like, "Oh fuck, I forgot
Yeah.
that a werewolf bite is like what
Yeah,
turns
you-
you." And so like I think that was pretty good because like no one on the train is suspecting that like
Yeah.
she's going to become a werewolf. And like most people, you watch a werewolf movie, someone's bit, and like as the audience, you're like, well, that person's a werewolf next.
Yeah.
Or like a zombie movie, you're like, they're the
Yeah.
zombie.
It takes a
But,
long
like,
time for it to become like present in the story.
Yeah.
Like, oh, she's gonna turn. That's what happens with werewolves, guys.
Exactly. And so it was really kind of fun watching it with you guys and then having Derek be like, I totally fucking forgot that. Like that's because they don't like hit you in the face with that.
And I do appreciate that it is in a modern setting, but not in one of those weird like Walking Dead situations where like, no, werewolves aren't a thing in this world. We know nothing about this.
Exactly.
As soon as they come to terms with the fact that like, oh, I think we're dealing with a werewolf, they're like, oh wait, what do we need? Like a silver bullet? Like they do start to openly have those conversations.
They do talk about it.
I like that it's like not super meta with it, but it's also like we're not idiots. Like werewolves exist in our fantasy, in our world, like this is a thing that is real for us. But yeah, for a long time, it's a lot of them debating about like, oh, it just must be a big bear that's out there, and they're kind of in like debates about that. It's not until the obnoxious like cell phone teenage character gets yoinked through a window by this big bestial thing, and then everyone's like, what the fuck was that, guys?
That's one of the jump scares that actually is like a jump scare in the movie.
And
like,
I like it.
Yeah,
she's walking past the window, and you have a feeling like, okay, this is where something's about to happen.
Yeah.
Because it's,
it builds towards it.
But like that window crashes and the big hairy arm comes through and grabs her and just like yeets.
It was great
out.
until there was like a Looney Tunes-esque moment where like the sound effect was like a whoink.
Yeah, because she like reaches her hand out. First of all, she's holding on to the window that she's being pulled out of with her hand, and then reaches out with the same hand for someone to help her. But there's like a weird comic book like thwip sound with her. There's some funny sound effects throughout it.
Oh yeah,
there was one that I like 100% have heard when they're opening like one of the doors to the train. It sounds like a safe in an episode of SpongeBob.
Yeah,
like
it's
I know that sound effect.
Like
Yeah, cheap sound effects that like didn't necessarily pull me out of it. It was just kind of funny for me to know.
The effect of her blood being splattered everywhere
that
and
was
like
fun.
going down the windows, that actually was pretty effective.
Because it takes her up to the top of the train and then it just spills over one of the windows on the side.
Exactly. And you expect her from the beginning, like being the annoying, shitty teenager rolling her eyes, whatever, like that she's going to be one of the victims. But right before that, she has the moment with another lady on the train where they talk about like, like a mother-daughter perspective kind of thing. Like she's, like, hey, oh, my daughter has shoes like those. And then she's like, oh, my mom's my best friend. And they kind of have this moment. And so then when she gets ripped out of the train, the other lady who is kind of the mother in that role, like she has kind of a heartbreaking moment.
It affects her heavily.
Yeah, she felt like, this was like her daughter almost.
Because she has to be like pulled back by another character, right? 'Cause she's like trying to go after her out this window.
Exactly. And so like that death, more so than the ones that come after, kind of like, even though it's the first one and it's the most expected one, it also is one of the more emotional ones. I think.
And I appreciate the fact that like you could easily be like, oh, well, you guys are in trouble because you went outside of the train and then you got like bit by a werewolf and that's a whole bad thing. So like for a moment you're like, they're safe inside this train.
They broke that safety.
And nothing can get in here. And then it breaks through the window. It's like, oh shit, where are you going to hide then? There is no safe place in here. They can bust through. And they even come to terms with that. They like take up, they open up this like secret compartment that has like a crowbar and screwdrivers, a hatchet, an axe, and they just start taking apart the whole train and like making barricades all over it, which is pretty fun. I did enjoy that.
I liked that a lot. And then we actually get a moment where one of the characters, the big annoying guy, I don't even remember his name.
The asshole character,
the alpha,
who is such a dick from the get-go, and they keep throughout the movie at several points giving you more reasons to say, hey, this dude is the biggest asshole. You want him to die.
Yeah, they really, really wanted
They
us
like
to
beat
hate
us over
him.
the head with him being just like a piece of shit.
But I think the fun thing about it is like the whole time, like especially watching with you guys, you were like, I want him to fucking die.
Yes.
Fuck that
yeah.
guy.
Yes.
And then each death that happens is somebody else.
It's not
him.
him.
And you're like, fuck that guy.
There's even
I
a
do
moment,
love that in movies.
There's even a moment where he is literally like tied up next to the girl who the old woman who is now turning into a werewolf, and he knows that. And like even then, he's directly next to the source that could kill him. He's still not the one that dies.
No, and he's still annoying.
And so it does make you yearn for this character's death, which means, if that does come to pass, then like it's a pretty big payoff for
the
that,
reason
right?
he gets tied up though is because he realizes it's werewolves.
Yes.
And
Well,
no one else
But
believes
why
it.
does he realize it's a
Why?
werewolf?
Yeah, we
though?
gotta backtrack a little bit.
Okay, yeah. He realizes it because he notices her bit, right? Isn't
Well,
that
no,
how-
because
This is
they-
after there's a whole wolf that gets on the
Oh
train.
my
Yeah.
god, I forgot about
because
that.
there's a side character they introduce you to in the beginning who's like a football hooligan, soccer hooligan in the States, or is what we call him. But he's like drunk, maybe coming home from the game, he's whatever.
That's
he
right.
disappears. we don't see him like when they get off the train to look for the conductor and get back on. Like he's not there, whatever. Then they find him later in the bathroom, stuck in an out of order bathroom, trying to get out.
The
doors
door's like jammed.
And then later he disappears again in the bathroom.
Yeah, he's hiding.
And he's the next death, I believe. The werewolf
claws through the ceiling
of the train into
and
the bathroom.
it's actually pretty fun. Like the clawed talons coming through. Like they all look pretty good so far. I like it a lot. There's even this one fun shot of the werewolf like running its claws along the side of the train, just like scratching at it.
Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a wolf gets on the train, and my favorite part about that is they actually dispatch this werewolf pretty fast.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's scary, it's brooding, it's this big muscular thing. I guess we have to talk for a second about the design of this werewolf.
Yeah, please.
Because I like the legs look very canine. They've got that weird curve bend to them. And I liked the way the hands look, the claws that are on them. It has a very humanoid face was my only thing about it. Like I do like a little more of a snout on my werewolf, but you were talking about like it is kind of nice in a werewolf's design to see it look a little more like a human turned wolf.
I think because I am such a werewolf or like a wolfman freak.
Yeah.
I have always preferred the like more human face that's become a bit monstrous more than like when they just become a wolf.
A dog, just a dog's head.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer it personally, but I do think they went so much in the canine direction on the rest of the body.
Yes.
That it is kind of jarring.
It was
not have that on the
strange.
face.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I thought it still looked pretty cool.
No, I was surprised by it. Another thing I was super surprised about was Derek was 100% right. A very hairless werewolf.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's a little fuzzy for sure, but like
Almost
you
no
see a
hair.
lot of like just lumpy flesh. And
have
it does
more
look
hair.
really good.
I have more hair than
No
this
joke,
werewolf.
Derek absolutely has more hair than this wolfman did.
But no, they did it. Yeah, I think like the parts that needed to have hair and be scary, like on
like his
arms or
bush.
whatever, worked.
Yeah, like the bush, of
around
course.
his
Big
cock.
bush.
He was an 80s werewolf.
Bunch of hair there.
Could have made a hefty career as a porn star.
But they had like it was kind of Wolfman 2025, right?
Yes.
Like it was kind of similar to that, where it was like stringy on the head and kind of like
And you mentioned it kind of looks like those like hairless dogs. That kind of
Yes.
like that texture on the skin.
that kind
I do
of
like that.
loose,
Yeah.
wrinkly skin that like
Yeah, they were hairless. I didn't hate the design.
No, it just took me a second to get used to that, but like they were like more humanoid than I was expecting, and we actually compared it to this year's 28 years later, right?
Yeah,
about how
they
those
feel like those alphas.
quote unquote zombies, they look a bit more like that kind of design, just like more like an infected person, which is kind of cool, and like I like that as a
In
design.
watching, I felt like it was more of a negative, but now on reflecting, I actually do think I liked the idea of it being like more of a curse or more of a sickness than like full on
and
like
no explanation, right? Like
No.
they don't ever no one's ever like, oh, I've heard of these like like
I loved that.
things
The
or
soft
like it's
world building.
there's like they know about werewolves from pop culture,
but not like in their real world.
yeah,
you
but
know?
there's no like they don't explain like, oh, there's this curse
Yes.
that has been put on the land, or there's no like virus that they like have heard of, or,
Which I
like,
actually really appreciated. I remember I wrote that down a few times where I'm like, I'm glad because like we mentioned, there are sometimes in like the in-between werewolf moments, like it can kind of drag. I was really happy we didn't get some weird exposition about like, here's the werewolf virus and here's how it happened. There was this group of people, they got lost in the woods and they became cannibals or some shit like that.
They totally could have gone that
Like
direction.
they were it's just like, there are wolves in this world, fucking deal with it.
But they did do one piece of exposition that pissed me off, and I warned you guys before it came up because I thought it was coming up, and then it came up later, which pissed me off more to realize like how late it comes up.
Yeah,
but
it's deep in the movie.
yeah. So so the characters are stuck in the train. They get out, they find the conductor, they run back. Old woman's attacked.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nobody says shit about this being a familiar thing.
Nobody makes any connections to anything else.
Then after
An hour later.
after they kill the werewolf on the train that eats the soccer guy, which by the way I really like that they did it without silver. They're not falling into the silver.
Yeah,
but,
they just smash his
beat
face.
him
going
to
their own
death
way.
with a fucking fire extinguisher and an axe and a knife
Which
and
is
broken
so
glass and
fun
whatever.
because they go to town on this thing.
Everybody.
But I was
It
like, I
feels
mean,
realistic.
listen, if it was me and like 5 other people, I think all of us would just be taking swings at this fucking
Oh,
thing
absolutely,
until it was
yeah.
beaten to a pulp. It was great.
And yeah, so I love that they did that. But then what happens is after they've killed this werewolf, and then everyone starts realizing like, oh shit, okay, so what we're dealing with is werewolves.
Yeah, it's not a bear.
The old lady was bit. We know from pop culture that means she might change. Like there's all this stuff. Then old lady's husband, the old man, is like, you're all too young to remember this, but in the 60s, a train broke down around this same area.
Around these parts.
And when rescuers finally got to the train, or like the train company or whoever, there was nobody left on the train alive, and they looked like they'd been torn apart by animals, but no one ever figured out what happened.
It's like, so you didn't think to bring this up until right now?
Exactly. You think, like, as you guys find the dead body, and then you're pulling your wife into the train and she's getting attacked, like, you think that'd be like, this happened in the 60s. Everybody fucking died when that happened. No one knows what happened. Whatever.
It's probably nothing. It's whatever.
But it's like, all that happens, you don't bring it up once, and then after you kill the werewolf, then you're like, yeah, I remember like a news story where this was like something that happened to people 50 years ago.
This reminds me of a story.
It's just like,
it's so silly.
Yeah,
I think he was asleep until that moment.
oh my god, dude, yeah, he must have fucking been, because like, there's no way that's not something you're bringing up, and that really pissed me off. How
Yeah.
late,
Oh, yeah.
because if that came
So
up,
strange.
if that came up right after they pulled his wife into the train,
Oh yeah.
that would have been like like a tropey bit of exposition.
Would have
but,
been
like,
a good,
would've fit.
the appropriate time for it, right?
Exactly.
And also, maybe if they had that little fire under their seats, like, even if they didn't believe him, but like, what if it's like something like a werewolf or something animalistic out there? Like, maybe they would be a little more cautious.
Or just like, I mean, yeah, they would have been more fearful of the fact that like there's an animal out there, right? Because he didn't even say that like they thought it was a werewolf.
No, yeah,
Or, like
he
they
didn't
didn't
even
do
put
any of
that
that
connection
shit.
there.
No,
They're
no,
just
no.
like, they were killed by some
Yeah.
animal. No one ever figured out what it was.
But they fuck up that werewolf so much so that like they kill it, at least to their belief. They cover it up with a blanket. It starts to twitch, and then who is it? Is it the main character? Or is it
Yeah,
the nerd?
it sits up. Well, the nerd hits it with the axe first.
That's right.
Yeah,
And
And
the
that's
main
when you think
character
he's like
beats him.
dead.
But no,
then
later on, it's the main character that comes in with a fire hydrant, just caves its head in,
Yeah.
and that actually
Pretty
does
brutal.
100% kill it. So yeah, they don't have to do like the silver bullet kind of thing. Like they don't have to do the tropey stuff with the werewolf. Just like beat it to a pulp, as much as it can be dead. But that's not the only werewolf up in the mix, guys.
Nah, dude.
There's actually a couple werewolves that are prowling out in the woods, and
Yeah.
I for some reason, as a solo like wolfman werewolf, I didn't love the design of it, but as a pack, as a couple of them,
Yeah.
very off-putting. I actually liked the way they kind of shambled through the woods, the way they moved unnaturally. They had these like glowing, like reflective
yeah.
eyes that were really cool.
They feel very almost Jim Henson in like the way that they kind of move left and right
was
and like
spooky
kind of
for
bobble.
sure.
They almost look like puppets on strings.
Yeah, it was cool.
It very effective.
I liked it a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Well,
The
and
way they moved as a pack.
there were a lot of shots later on that you see of them like in the fog, in the dark
Yes.
outside.
The
And
fog
you see the
helped a
glowing eyes,
lot.
and you see the silhouette, and it like really,
It's
really
good.
just kinda,
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so right now they're trying to fix the train, right? There's one kid on board who happens to be a mechanic, I guess, and that's his thing. So he's trying to help them fix the train. All the while, the main asshole character is the one who's like, she's a fucking werewolf, guys. We need to kill her. And he does try to kill the old lady who we know is for sure is turning into a werewolf, and they
Yeah.
tie him up instead. He's like, you can't kill this old lady. That's fucked up. And like, I'm on both of your sides. Because on one hand, yeah, she's a werewolf. She's going to fuck your shit up real bad. But also, this guy's trying to kill an old lady. So
Yeah.
that's tough.
Yeah,
It's a hard
exactly.
place to be in, right? But she does, eventually start turning into a werewolf and
was,
start attacking people.
It was a real trolley problem. Real train werewolf problem.
Exactly. And it is one of those things where, like we were saying earlier, like, what would I do in this situation?
Yeah.
Like,
Would I kill one werewolf?
it's kinda
Would I
like-
kill 3 werewolves?
yeah, like, we just killed a werewolf, but do we Lord of the Flies this shit?
Yeah.
Or do we, like, try to keep our humanity?
It's
you know?
hard.
Yeah.
It's a tough place to be for sure.
Yeah.
And I hated that I was like, ugh, this guy's the dickbag asshole character, but I am kind of with him.
Yeah, he's
Because he does know what he's talking about. Because guess what? That old lady turns into a werewolf. Derek, tell me about this old woman's portrayal of turning
Okay,
like
they showed her Jurassic Park. The scene in the kitchen where the kids are hiding and those 2 velociraptors are chasing after. They were like, "Do you see that? That's what we imagined for a werewolf."
Yep.
And that's it. She like literally puts her hands up to her chest,
Like a velociraptor and just kind of claws them. Just
this
splays her
woman
fingers
has
a
never
little
seen a
bit.
werewolf in her life.
And it's so funny because she mostly just sits there and like leers at people. She doesn't ever actually like attack.
But it's almost like a smile.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
almost like a...
She's
like,
definitely enjoying it.
Yeah. It's almost like that like Deadite smile in Evil Dead. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's kind of that, but not as effective.
No, not as good as it is in Evil Dead.
No, she was not a great actress, unfortunately.
But it's kind of cool that it's like she starts attacking them while she like is clearly mid transformation.
Yeah.
Like she's not
She's not
as
full wolf yet.
monstrous
No.
as everybody else.
She really doesn't. We don't see any sort of
She
transformation.
doesn't really get
at
that
all.
far, yeah.
She kind of gets like a
It's very
Buffy the Vampire Slayer. What am I gonna say?
And it was just like it's slow off screen. Like you see her every time it cuts to her, she's like a little
like that.
paler.
I did like
a little different looking.
She looks worse and worse for
little
where as the
sweaty.
movie progresses, which is fun.
But she does look more like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer vampire than a werewolf.
Absolutely.
But there's cool stuff before, like physically she's kind of wolfy when she's still just kind of like looking sick and whatever.
Yeah.
Where like you hear the wolves howl.
Yes.
And then she's like perking up.
She like snaps
and that's
to
the only
attention.
time she seems alert. During
I
this.
did like
and the
that.
asshole guy's like, fucking.
See
You have me
this?
tied up next to her,
See
like,
what
what
I'm
the
saying,
fuck?
guys?
And everyone's like, yeah, I don't know, dude.
But yeah, she does end up going wolf. She starts attacking some people. They do kill her. I think how did they spear through her?
Yeah,
Is that-
so
They stab her
she
with a pipe.
she turns and she breaks out of her because she's tied up too.
Yeah.
They tied up both her
easily
and the asshole
breaks
just
out
in
of
case.
her
Yeah.
bindings.
And the lady who we were saying was kind of the motherly figure one, she unties the asshole and he grabs a pipe wrench and like hits her on the head. And then her husband, the old man, comes over and he's like, "Fuck you, dude," and punches the guy in the face. Which is like, I
It's
get
like, that
his
may
point
be
of
a
view, right?
werewolf, but that's my wife.
Exactly. But then the fucking werewolf lady gets her husband.
Yep.
She
Which is pretty
rips his
great.
throat out,
Yeah.
blood everywhere, really good.
Real lover boy. Loved her to the end, wolf and all.
Yep.
But asshole's now on the ground because he got
Yeah.
punched and knocked over. And so then she's coming after him. And instead of getting up, because she's like a 90-pound
90-year-old lady.
Yeah. And instead of getting up and just going at her with the wrench, he throws it at her.
he's an
and
idiot.
misses.
Dumbass.
And then, our hero, our main character, Joe, he comes up and spears her from behind with some stick of some sort.
Some kind of
and-
pipe of some sort.
I don't know.
And the whole time, the dude is kind of just being walked all over, especially by the main like asshole character. But nobody wants to listen to him. Everyone like is kind of against him the whole time, and he's just kind of a pushover in every scenario. So as the movie slowly progresses, he finally like gets the nards to go and stab through this woman to save someone's life.
Yeah.
But where does it go from there? The train gets fixed momentarily
the
until
asshole,
it doesn't.
The asshole pushes them in a way to get off the train.
That happens.
Is that after the train?
Because then
Yeah, that
this
is after
when,
the train.
Then, the mechanic kid and
Oh,
the
and the
nerdy
nerd.
kid,
That's
they
right.
get off to go fix the
I
train.
keep jumping ahead.
Yeah, so they're fixing the train. They find the leak in the gas line.
Right. Yeah.
They get it patched up.
Temporarily fix it.
The train
Until
pees
it's
on it a little
busted
bit.
and then it like leaks gasoline all over the mechanic kid.
Exactly.
And then when the wolves all break onto the train, he comes in as a hero and lights them all on fire.
which was kick ass.
Which is cool because he's like holding out that pipe wrench that asshole threw earlier, and it's like the top of it is on fire like it's a torch. But why isn't he on fire?
Yeah, he was
We
covered
saw
in
him
gasoline.
getting
He should
covered in
be-
gasoline.
he should be on
But
fire.
before that, when the train's fixed,
Yeah.
but so the nerdy kid, he hears the teenage girl who the first victim
Yeah.
screaming for help.
Yeah.
And he
goes to find her.
which is like, you know,
how you
that's
die.
Come on.
Yeah, you don't
Come on.
do that.
Horror movie 101.
And the whole time you're wondering, like, okay, is this really her?
Yeah,
Because like when
yeah.
I rewatched it yesterday, I didn't remember this at all.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like thinking, like, is it one of the wolves? Like, is this like a siren song?
I actually thought the same thing. I'm
Or
like, can they like throw a voice kind of
Yeah.
thing? Like, is there some kind of cool supernatural element?
That's how it
to
felt
this?
for sure.
Yeah.
But no, he gets out there and he's looking around with the flashlight and he looks up in a tree and you see her hanging out of the tree,
Upside down.
guts everywhere. And then he pans up the flashlight a bit more and a werewolf is eating her in the tree.
Yeah,
So
and
cool.
I think it was one of the wolves was named Scar, right?
Yeah.
It's got this like kind of fucked up face, and
The
it's
big
like
alpha
what I would
main
assume
one.
is the alpha one of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
just tearing into this girl.
But-
Again, decent practical effects. I
Yeah.
was like
It
not
looked
mad
good.
about
Yeah,
them.
and it was
pretty
a good,
damn good.
It was a good like build up, like something's happening without being like a stupid jump scare.
Wasn't a
or
big jump
dumb
scare
reveal.
moment. Yeah.
It was good. And then so the nerdy kid then he starts running away. The wolves get him, eat him.
He's dead.
And so mechanic kid is all alone trying to fix the train in the dark with no flashlight, whatever. And he gets it fixed, but there's two werewolves stalking the side of the train because they can like hear him or smell him or something.
yeah.
and he has to like hold himself up on the underside of the train so they don't see him laying there.
Pretty
as,
good.
Like, the wolves look under.
Incredible strength as the train is moving. He's just like stuck underneath it.
And that's when you get a good look of the CG legs.
Yeah.
That actually looked really good.
I was
had
surprised.
no idea
Yeah,
about
Derek
the
actually
CG.
told us like in the middle of watching this, like the all of the legs you see were CGI,
Yeah.
which is crazy because before that I actually thought they were pretty damn good. I thought they
seemed
had
like
practical
nice
legs,
stilts, nice whatever. Yeah, but no, these were
because the effect is possible. You can do it with like green screen effects of like the weird leg angles and stuff like that.
Sure.
There's a moment also where the asshole character kicks off that motherly character, I guess,
Exactly.
off of the train because the wolves are trying to break in. They're pulling her out the door, and instead of helping her, he kicks her.
And that's as the train is like fixed momentarily.
Yes.
So they're riding away, and he kicks her out the door, taking the pipe wrench.
Absolutely
from her.
could have helped her, but he's a dickbag.
I did like this moment though, where she is alone off the train. In these movies, a lot of times what they'll do is they'll just have that be like a gory kill or something.
Yeah.
This was just her alone, looking around and seeing some shapes in the dark.
and seeing the train
Just
ride off
leaving.
and like crying, and then turn, and then like you see
There's one
the
behind her.
silhouette with
Yep.
the eyes behind her.
It was good.
As it shambles
Yeah.
towards her with the glowing eyes, and then she just keeps saying, "Please don't kill me,"
Yeah.
and it's so sad.
But it was pretty effective. I think that was a better way to do it than her just being ripped to shreds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I liked it a lot. Actually, it was pretty
Yeah.
good. But yeah,
And,
just another thing to show you that this guy is an asshole. You know, he just throws this woman
Exactly.
off the train. There's also like a moment where like he has two sets of keys, and he explains to the main characters like, "You see this? One of these here is for the wife and kids, you know, back at home. But in this one, you got a flat over by the Tower Bridge, and you bring some nice young ladies there. These two worlds, they never collide. You get what
Gross.
I'm saying? He's just such an ass.
Yeah, very
in
like
every
Andrew
aspect.
Tate, alpha male,
God,
gross
fuck
bullshit.
this
And
guy.
well, and the motherly lady and the asshole. You find out after they tie
They have a
the
past.
asshole up. She's like, "Hey, I don't know if you remember me, but like I applied for a
For your
position
job.
at your office
Yeah.
and you interviewed me, and then you took me back to your flat, and then like whatever." And he's just like, "Yeah, I know your type. You're this
my
and
God.
that." and
So
whatever.
gross.
And he's just like this gross asshole. And
I just
so-
want him to die
exactly.
But then he doesn't.
and then
for a long time.
she unties him so he doesn't get eaten by
Yeah.
the old lady because she's a decent person.
she's nice.
And then when she's grabbed, he kicks her off the fucking train.
Yeah,
He's
it's
like,
so
bye.
fucking
fucked
asshole.
up. It's so fucked up.
But then we have this moment where the train is halted again.
Yeah.
And they're stuck on the main love interest and the main two love interests are there, and Andrew Tate, I'm gonna just call him that. He fucking like gates them in and jumps off the train to safety.
Yeah.
while they're stuck.
There's
there.
three werewolves on the train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
he leaves them to their own devices.
Yeah, and so then Joe has like a piece of broken glass or metal or something
Yeah.
that he's like waving toward the werewolves, trying to like buy some time to figure out what to do. And that's when Engineer Kid comes in with
Flames.
his
Yeah.
torch.
Yep.
And saves them by lighting the whole thing ablaze. And then, unfortunately, he gets got in that situation. So the werewolves...
And we hear an explosion. They're running away. They got off the train and they're running away. We hear an explosion.
Yeah, so now it's pretty much just like asshole character has gone away somewhere. Who knows where he's at? We got the two main love interests, and it's a noble sacrifice that the lead character does. I wasn't super into their relationship between
I
each
just
other.
wasn't really into him.
No, I mostly felt like he was pining after her a lot. I wasn't
Yeah.
seeing a lot of reciprocation.
I
is the
think,
thing.
and I think that was the point, right? They're trying to show that he's the beta and
Yeah.
he's the whatever, and
Yeah.
he wants the girl and she's not interested in whatever. And then it shows, yeah, like you're saying, like the evolution of him becoming an alpha, right?
Yeah.
Like he like beats the shit out of the asshole, and he's trying to save everybody, and he's being more assertive.
Yeah, which still just like doesn't hit quite as home as I think they wanted it to. I'm like, I can see what you're trying to go for, but it's not working quite as well.
This character was just
But-
kind of bleh.
Yeah, but so they're running away from like these three wolves now, right? And he's like, "You go, girl that I love," and kisses her out of nowhere. And that doesn't. She doesn't really seem to have any
No,
any reaction to
No,
that.
she has like
she gets kissed.
she has survivor's guilt, it seems like,
Yeah.
with him saying he's
Yeah.
going to stay behind.
Yeah.
She's kind of like, no, come with me.
Yes.
Like, we can do this together, whatever. And he's like, this is a lost cause. I'll sacrifice myself. You get the fuck back to the train station.
And so
Follow
yeah,
the
so
tracks.
she basically listens, and he's left to face these three wolves at the same time. And it bothers me that like these wolves have been tearing through everybody at certain points in this movie, but now he's facing three of them at once. He's got this like bit of broken whatever to try to stab at them, and does get a couple good like slashes in on these werewolves. He stands against them for a while until they finally like make short work of him and like bite him on the neck and kill him.
But then that they bite him on the neck, and then it just holds, and it's like almost a vampire-esque. Like the werewolf is just
looks like a
drinking his
vampire.
blood.
sensual. It's like
and
holding
then
him on the
as-
neck and like kind of rubbing his back.
Yeah,
and
and
the other ones
like come
around.
down and like crouches down around like his ass.
Yeah.
and it's very like
That was the sex.
that was the sex
sexual,
stuff that they
it's
warned
definitely
about.
there.
Yeah, in the content advisory it said strong sexual content, but that was the most sexual thing.
Pretty much all you
Yeah.
get. But yeah, so you basically see the main love interest girl. She does end up making it back to the station. She's holding the guy Joe's bloody name tag in her hand, and that's all that happens there. And so then we cut back to like the morning after. The asshole character's wandering through the woods, and he's lost because he doesn't know how to fucking
he's an idiot.
fend for himself in the middle of the woods. And he sees the blazer of our main character. He's like, Joe, is that you? And turns around the corner. Guess what? We have a werewolf Joe. Like mid transformation again, like the old lady. He's not fully wolf. He does have like some like fake teeth in his mouth, and his eyes are glowing.
But you
still.
don't see it at first. At first, you see it's like
His shoulder.
His shoulder. It's
Yeah.
like over the shoulder shot, and then the asshole's looking around, and you see like werewolf here, werewolf there, whatever. And then you're like, is Joe about to be a werewolf too? And he is. And that I told you guys that.
Yes,
pissed me
please
the fuck
talk
off.
on this because this is kind of a. You're right. It's kind of dumb.
It's dumb. It's like from a lead actor point of view, like Ed Spielers, if I was him, I would have been like, this is the sickest ending because I get to be a werewolf at the end,
Of
and that's
course.
a fun thing.
and he gets to kill the asshole
And
character we've all been begging
and
to
that's
die.
also kind of fun as the audience who's like supposed to be rooting for Joe and hating the asshole.
Yes.
Is you're like, Joe gets to kill the asshole.
Uh-huh.
But those werewolves are just killing everybody, like brutally killing
They're
everybody,
viciously
eating
just
them.
slaughtering first.
And instead they're just like, hey Joe, we'll just bite you and then like turn you into
And
one
let
of
you
us.
be one of us.
And
of
it's
the
like,
pack.
yeah, why? Like there's there's no indication that the werewolves have any kind of like
Intelligence
code.
yeah,
Yeah.
like they're not
Yeah.
following any sort of like protocol or anything.
Like,
They're
are we
very
supposed to
animalistic.
believe that like he's come so far in his journey from being pushed over this entire movie that now he stands up as like this alpha figure and they can like sense that within him? They're like, hey, a fisherman always spots another fisherman from afar. I think you
That's
got what it
stupid.
takes to join her. No,
No,
it's
it's
dumb.
stupid. It's so dumb.
Any justification for it does not work. Because you were talking about how like the old lady who becomes a wolf, it's not intentional.
No.
She gets bit and they pull her away, and that's
Exactly.
why she can live long enough. Because if not, she would have died.
And-
Absolutely.
And a character being a wolf at the end is a trope.
Yes.
in-
Yeah.
like the Benicio del Toro Wolfman remake,
Yes.
right? Like there is the trope where like as everybody's chasing Larry and whatever, like the Inspector Hugo Weaving's character, like he gets bit, and then at the end, as Gwen's crying over Larry's dead body, whatever, then
now
like
he's a
you realize
wolf.
like he's gonna be a werewolf. now.
Yeah.
And it's like, so if anything, if they were gonna have anybody survive and be a werewolf at the end, as much as it probably would have fucking also pissed me off, like
Yeah.
the asshole guy,
Yeah.
because he disappeared, no one knows what happened, and then if it's just
Uh-huh.
like he's hobbling back to the station,
find out he
and
got bit
he's
somewhere.
That would've been
bit
way
somewhere,
better.
and it would have also like been like, oh my god, he's still not fucking dead, and now he's a fucking werewolf. Like that
Yeah.
would have,
It would
but
have been a more gratifying kill too.
exactly. But having Joe just somehow not get torn to shreds
Yeah.
and killed, like,
It
That's
felt
just the
like it was
upsetting
for
thing.
the sake of the trope.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's no reason those wolves would not have just torn him to pieces, especially since he stabbed the alpha a lot.
yeah.
So you'd imagine after that they'd be even more aggro pissed to be
For
like,
sure.
oh, we need to kill this guy. I'm mad now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's
the movie.
Howl
That's
2015.
That's how.
And there was right before that though, there was
Yeah.
the shot of as Joe's fighting off the werewolves and the lead girl Ellen, I think's her name.
I think you're right about
Probably.
that.
She's
Ellen
as
DeGeneres.
she's walking away. There's like a back shot of her walking away, and you guys were like, "And cut."
Yeah,
and that
roll
felt like the
credits.
perfect
Felt
time, right?
like the
because
end.
it,
To
it
end it right
leaves
there.
mystery. You're like, okay, did the
Ambiguous.
asshole die? Is Joe gonna be okay? Is he gonna get out of this somehow, or do we know he's gone?
Yeah.
Is she gonna be okay? Is she gonna be a final girl who makes it to the destination all fucked up, or is she gonna get got and like leave a little mystery? But instead,
That would have been great.
yeah, instead they're like,
they
okay, but
spoon-fed
now
it to us.
here's what's up with the asshole, and here's Joe's a werewolf, and she does make it back, and they don't like leave anything mysterious at the end, which
Yeah.
would have been nice.
I agree. Well, verdicts?
Yeah, we've been talking expectation results.
Yeah. Verdicts, expectation results.
For me, so my first one was damn near everyone is gonna die, and yeah, pretty much we had like one sole survivor at the end of
Yeah.
it. I guess two technically, but one of them became a werewolf, so like he kind of still met his end in a way.
Terrible
in a sense.
transformation scene was my first one. We didn't really get one, but I did. in dissecting the movie, really come to appreciate the slow degradation of the old lady.
Yeah.
I thought that was fun.
The only thing that was a downside to that was like it took a long time for her to become a werewolf, and then Joe at the very end was like
3 minutes.
in like less than
because it was daylight. Like the sun
When
had
he
come
got
up
bit.
when he got bit.
Yeah.
and it seemed like it was still early morning when you see the asshole. Like, it was pretty much almost simultaneous.
less than an hour. He was suddenly going full wolf. Again, it's that strong alpha in him that's really seeping through. I said it was going to be a mostly CG wolf with like the occasional practical suit. Actually, way more practical than I was expecting, which I was super into.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised. Like even the CG was good enough that I was shocked to find out like the legs were fake.
Yeah,
like
me
I
too.
was not
Well,
expecting
there were
that.
some shots where like the face was practical, and then it would do something unnatural, and so you would be like, okay, that has to be a CG face.
Yeah.
But it still looked pretty good.
It did
when
look
that
good.
happened, you know?
Hairless werewolves, so little hair, man. They just like they shaved them. They put them in a bath of nair.
Which weirdly made them more off-putting.
Werewolves?
The less hair that
Can
they
we call
had.
them werewolves?
Werewolves. Werewolves. Werewolves, not werewolves.
There it is.
I said there were going to be violent kills, and I feel like it was half and half. I think they did good with the way that the kills went.
Yeah.
Some of them, like the old lady getting pulled up by her leg and then not having a lot of gore on it, was kind of weird. But then there were some moments where, like, when the old lady bit into her husband, like a mountain of blood gushed out of his neck, which was
It was
fun.
a little inconsistent though.
Yeah, so like it was inconsistent, but I did feel like it actually went pretty well with like all the kills that happened within.
Annoying characters. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
like
dude,
all of them. But
for
they didn't.
sure.
I don't know. They didn't bug me as much as other movies. Annoying characters bug me.
Yeah.
The only one who really annoyed me was the girl, and she died so quick.
Yeah,
it didn't
she
even
did.
matter.
Poor her, but yeah, I think that was just the way it was going to go. We all knew it. I said there was going to be no transformation scene, all wolf all the time, and yeah, these wolves are just wolves the entire time. But yeah, I wasn't expecting to have like characters we meet in the thing becoming werewolves, and but yeah, they didn't have like your stereotypical like, oh no, it's the full moon, here I go, and have a long transformation sequence. It's just kind of a slow burn until they just like were mostly wolf. So yeah, I did like that though.
A wild ending that feels very B movie. Yeah, the ending just felt so lazy. Like it just felt like we need a moment of werewolf.
And just like not good reasoning to put us there. It's like I want this to be the ending. However it gets there, I don't care.
Well, one of those like, it was one of those endings that I think put a sour note on the movie.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie Last Shift. Great movie
Until the
the
end.
last 5 minutes.
Ah.
Oh my god, it's one of those ones where like the whole time you watch it, you're like, this is creepy,
Yeah.
this is weird, this is so
We
good.
just ignore
And
the
then-
last 5
yeah.
minutes.
So, but this kind of had that same feel. Like it was like
Yeah.
an ending that you didn't want to happen, and they did it anyway.
It gives you a bad taste
No,
for
that's
sure.
fair. My last expectation just said it was going to have good monster delay, and I actually did appreciate how long it took before we saw the entirety of the werewolf. It starts slow with like the monster POV as they stalk in on someone. You know, you get a bit of their claws, a little bit of the legs, the howling, until you actually see full werewolf. I actually think it took us like a while into the movie before they showed that.
halfway.
And it was great. And even after that, the wolves looked good enough and like they were creepy enough that even after seeing it in its entirety, still was pretty creepy. So like thumbs up to them and their monsters.
And the reveal too. Like we didn't really talk much about how it happens, or whatever. But like they kept it, so it's eating the guy in the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
And they don't show much. You see a little bit of a hand come through the ceiling, and then you kind of see like there's a hole in the door, and you see the guy bleeding, and you kind of see something grabbing him or
hairy
whatever.
something.
And then Joe's trying to get back into the train cart, but they've barricaded it, and they're not letting him in at first. And you get that trope of like he's right behind me, isn't he? Where it's like Joe's trying to get
slowly
through and you
lurks into frame.
Yeah, but it's still kind of shrouded,
Yes.
right? Like it's out of focus. He's
They're good
there. You can tell he's
silhouettes.
huge. Whatever. They pull Joe in finally. They try to lock and barricade the door, and then it's still kind of that like, are we gonna see him? Is it gonna happen? The werewolf busts through, and immediately he's all there. Like
Yes.
there's no
In
no
all of
pan
its
up from
glory,
his feet
yeah.
to his face. There's none of that slow like.
And I feel like it has enough like good presence as a monster that it really does like fill the screen.
It
Like,
really
here
does.
it is. Here's
Yeah, it
the
was
thing you've
good.
been waiting for, what we've all been building up towards, and the payoff actually worked really well.
Yeah,
I liked it a
completely
lot. What was your last expectation?
Overuse of CGI. Yes, but it wasn't really noticeable.
Yeah.
Like we've talked about a couple times. I feel like it was pretty effective.
Yeah, I think the worst that the CGI would get was like often in like the mouth of the werewolf when it would like stretch really big. You can kind of see him like it looks a little shoddy, but like not honestly that terrible, really.
No.
There's worse stuff I've seen in recent movies. You know?
Yeah. Basically all Marvel.
Yeah, truly. Should we talk about our surprises for this? My surprises. I said the wolves were so hairless, but still very creepy. So I was like into that. At first I wasn't, but the further along we got, I liked it a lot. The glowing eyes will always work on me. I fucking love me
like
some
my
glowing
favorite-
eyes
my
on
favorite horror
any
trope.
monster. Always works. I was surprised it was just straight up and down, just like a horror werewolf movie. It played things very safe. Like it did not stray too far, and that's okay. I think it did really well with what it did there. And then my last one just said, like I mentioned earlier, I liked that they didn't have much info about the wolves themselves. They didn't have this like whole aside with this like, here's our plot dump about this exposition about like where the werewolves came from, what it all means, blah blah. They just existed and they had to survive, and I liked that.
Yeah. For me, I was surprised about the gore and the CGI of like said creatures. You know, I was really surprised.
The
at
gore
that.
was pretty good, actually.
The gore was surprising.
Colors too.
Yeah, like there's a moment where you look at the bite and they like lift up the bandage, and the stringy nature of it looked very real and really, really gross.
It was like sticky too.
And then finally, my last surprise is the cinematography. We didn't really talk too much about it, but there were quite a few
some good moments,
really good shots. And then, of course, there were the occasional shot that was like, oh, he tipped the camera on its side. Okay. But I feel like there was a really good balance of like some actually pretty good effective stuff and then not.
Absolutely. It's time to announce our verdicts for the movie.
Let's do it.
I'm going to say that was howlable.
Clever.
It may have been a bit long-winded and dragged in some scenes that didn't involve the werewolf, but this one is actually not a terrible time. I think it really picks up once the werewolves are more present in the story. Like you mentioned that, like once you get to like third act territory of the movie, it actually like really picks up once like werewolves are a very hefty presence in the movie.
Yeah.
It follows all the tropes and doesn't stray too far from playing it safe. And I think it works for the most part, just like by doing that. They played it safe and that worked for them. The werewolves themselves were not what I was expecting, but they are actually quite spooky and off-putting to watch, especially as they got more into like the pack sense of them. When there were three of them together, I was like, wow, they are spooky. Like prowling around in the fog with their glowing eyes, I actually really liked. And their effects surprised me, like way more practical than I was expecting. So like thumbs up for that. So it's nothing to howl home about, but I could recommend Howl 2015 if you need a new wolf movie to sink your fangs into.
Nice. That was horrible, but I'm going to change it to that was howlable.
Yeah, my howlable is basically that was horrible.
It was a good pun.
Yeah.
Howl wasn't as bad as it should have been, honestly, but it could have definitely been much better. Mostly inside the scenes between the action, right? Like I would compare it almost to a Godzilla movie where like you watch the movie for the Godzilla attack, you watch the movie for the werewolf attack, you don't watch it for the people. But it could have been a movie where I cared about the people. Of course. It just wasn't. The shots outside the train in specific felt so right. Like basically everything outside the train, 10 out of 10 for me.
I liked the outside forest scenes.
They were so good. They were well built, good creepy scares. Unfortunately, though, the dialogue and the characters just dragged this movie down into the dirt. It was fun to see them die because they sucked, but it never really felt super validating because they just weren't well written.
Yeah.
You can't just make a character annoying to make them die. You got to at least give me a reason that's not just forced, right? So Howl was worth getting on the train, but maybe just get on the train with some friends and don't take this ride alone.
Yeah, I think it's another one like good with friends to watch and discuss. Is it time for your trivia?
Count trivia. How you doing?
It is me, Bela Lugosi. No, just kidding. It is me, Count Trivia. But I thought it'd be
in a box.
good connection.
Still,
I'm in a box somewhere. I'm
your
speaking through Isaac right now.
I have not fully unpacked
from my
the studio
box
yet.
Where am I, Derek? Where am I hiding?
I don't know, dude.
Find me in this house. I'm
like
stuck in here with Science Jim, and he smells.
Oh, I'm so stinky. I ate a burrito and it was fucking gross.
Anyway, I gave Isaac this trivia, so here you have it. While I go fade away into the ether. There's not a lot of trivia for this movie, guys. There really, really isn't. And one of them we already talked about. The first one I have is the werewolves were played by people in prosthetic suits, with the exception of the legs, which were done as CGI in post-production. And honestly, pretty good CGI.
Good work.
Actually, really, really, I thought it was good work there. Sean Pertwee, who we mentioned earlier, he played Alfred in Gotham, and he was the train conductor in it. He also starred in the movie Dog Soldiers 2002, which was also about werewolves. He also gets gutted in that one, I think. So it's funny, he's been gutted in 2 different werewolf
I didn't even
movies.
realize he was in that.
Yeah, I didn't either
that's a
until
good one.
I read
I
this
was
bit.
imagining that as the movie Small Soldiers,
No, close.
which is
Just imagine everything's the same, but there's werewolves.
That would actually be fun, like little werewolf action figures.
I'd
going
watch
I'd be
on.
into that. I'd
Yeah,
be
watch
into that. And then the only other one I found was Ed Spielers, who played the main guy Joe. He also starred in another werewolf film called Love Bite from 2012, which is only sitting at a 23%, and it does look pretty bad. It does look
we
pretty,
should watch
pretty
that
rough
one
on
too.
there.
Yeah.
Did we mention the Rotten Tomato scores at the beginning of this?
sure did.
Yeah, we did. I forget things sometimes.
It's okay.
But
It's
that's
been like an hour and a
That's
half.
all we have to say about Howl from 2015.
Anything more you want to add, Alex?
You know, guys, I think we covered it pretty well.
I think we got
pretty in-depth.
good,
all
yeah.
that we could say about this.
We covered everything about Howl and everything not about Howl. So I think it was.
and several
It
things
was
in
a success.
between, and something about mice and men as well.
Something, mice and men. Well, thank you for coming on, man.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. This was a blast. This was awesome. I was glad
of fun.
to show you guys something you hadn't seen. And
Yeah,
I
get
do
you
love
guys'
seeing some new stuff, and I appreciate, like, I didn't know this before, like, we had done this thing together, but, like, knowing you were, like, a big connoisseur of, like, werewolf films, so, like, it's fun to see, like, what's your take on something else that I have not seen
Yeah, it
out
was
of all the
nice.
werewolf
It was
movies
fun.
and stuff. But no, where can people find you?
You can find me on YouTube, AleksSuks, AleksSuks. Also on TikTok. I haven't uploaded quite a while on YouTube, but be on the lookout. I've got some new stuff in the works. I am coming back there.
Got to do it.
And
Gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, please check them out.
I think your most viral thing was that 1-star pizza place.
I did, on TikTok. I had the 1-star pizza place here. I found and made a little video about it.
you can DoorDash that now, right?
I'm sure you can, yeah.
Crazy.
They're a little far out of my house. I don't know if DoorDash doesn't care. I bet
DoorDash doesn't care. Yeah,
DoorDash
I
will go
went
anywhere.
there.
You pay anyone a
if you
tip
see
for that.
part 2 of my video on that, I
watched
did
all the
actually
parts,
went there
yeah.
and picked it up and brought it home. But yeah.
And you said it was bad.
Yeah, it was not
Which
good.
is
It was
really disappointing.
It was way better air fried after, or like reheated.
Interesting.
You know,
I just feel like if you're gonna make a 1-star restaurant on purpose, make it actually good, because that bit is so much funnier if it's like
or
good
they just
pizza.
they knew it was shit. So like, if we get ahead of the curve,
That's true. That's true.
you know.
But yeah, no, thank you, Alex, for
man.
joining us here, like showing us all the wonderful things about werewolves in movies and such. And thank you, dear listener, for joining us here. Sorry it took us a second to get us an episode out. Life happens. Life gets crazy.
Yep, life's a bitch, and then you die.
And to that effect, there's also more life stuff in the works as well. And so we're gonna do our best to crank out a couple episodes.
Yeah.
Before crazy things happen. Derek is going to be a father, and so that's a wonderful
least
thing.
once.
At least once. So as a result of that, we're going to have to try to front load as many pre-recorded episodes as we can. But if we disappear at some point in the near future, we will be back. We will be back is the point that I'm trying to make. Life things will happen, but we will be coming back here to give you
We got to hit at least
all of
100.
the horror content
We're
you crave.
so
At
goddamn
least 100.
close.
There's no way we can stop at episode 96. Are you kidding me?
Ick.
Absolutely not. But yeah, join us next time if we ever end up watching this goddamn
I think
movie.
this is the 4th time we've announced.
We've
this
mentioned
movie.
like 3 or 4 times we will be watching Dracula Dead and loving it.
Oh my god, what a fucking good movie!
It's a
dude.
great-
Holy
But the
shit.
internet, the Rotten Tomatoes disagrees. It's sitting at 11%
Well, they're
right
idiots,
now.
dude.
Even the audience is only at 49%.
Leslie Nielsen in it just automatically gives you a 50%.
That's what I'm saying.
bumps. But yeah, like
I've been
Mel
on a
Brooks,
Leslie Nielsen
come on.
kick lately, and so watching this movie is going to be such a good
But
time.
yeah, 1995, sitting at 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. Screw that noise. We're going to love it, I'm sure. But basically, if you know the story of Dracula, it's that. But it's funny this time because Mel Brooks and Leslie Nielsen are at the
so
helm of
ready.
this one.
Give it to me.
But no, thank you as always for listening. Thank you, Alex, for joining us. Thank you for listening here. If you like what you see from us, you can go follow us on all of our social medias. We are on Instagram at that_was_horrible, Twitter at TWH Podcast, Facebook at That Was Horrible Podcast, YouTube at That Was Horrible, and TikTok at That Was Horrible.
All right, Alex, do you know our sign off?
I don't because I'm an asshole.
That's all right. A lot of people turn it
You're
off before
supposed
this
to
part.
do your homework. No, just
So
kidding.
we always say Garfield be with you.
That's
and then
right.
Stay spooky. All right, so on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Garfield be with you. Stay spooky.
Goodbye.